Everybody, chat. Nobody else's auto. 7 o'clock Sunday evening. Time for a little live chat. Looks like we got a great group already on with us on YouTube. Looks like Facebook is connecting as well. As always, we are live on both formats, Facebook and YouTube, as you see me glancing back and forth, checking comments on both formats. Lots of people on already. Jim's here, Mark's here, Kevin L. Weston's on with us. Charles is back with us. Bill Wagaman's on. Pete's here with us. I think I caught everybody so far. I don't know what sure that thing is, Bill. Is that a little blue whale or something you got throwing up there or something? Scott's on with it. Yes, Mark, I did get your check. Lee from New York's here. Pete's on. Alan from Arizona. Bill Disk made it tonight. Michael from New Jersey's on Facebook. Michael, before I forget, your big can, I forgot to ship it. I found it yesterday. I put it in a box, set it next to the shipping table. I tried to take it to the post office yesterday, but it was too big. So I will get that out first of the week. I'm going to have to ship it FedEx. So just so you know, I forgot that I screwed that one up, but it is ready to go, Michael. Dad's on with us. Alan's here. Eloy's with us. John's on. All right. Looks like you guys keep coming back every week. I keep waiting. One of these days, some of you guys are going to quit coming back, but you keep coming back every week and having a great time with us, and that's what makes it fun. That's what's important. Tweedly D, Gary Dahmer. Perfect, Michael. I just wanted to let you know because I screwed it up. I got a box for it, sat it on the floor at the end of the shipping table, and it just got spaced off. So anyway, as always, a little bit of housekeeping. Autocorrect, please double check your comments before you hit send. If I can't make them out because autocorrect changed it, I will have to skip it and move on to the next comment. Vic's here with us. Let's see. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, this is a shared video to that page from the Nobody Else's Auto page, which means you can watch, you can hang out, but I cannot see those comments. So you'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show YouTube channel to comment, participate in the auction, etc. Trolls, obviously, once in a while, since this is a public video, we do get trolls on here. You guys are great about running them off. I ignore them because they want my attention because they don't get enough from mommy. So you guys do a great job of blocking, reporting, and making sure that they are not welcome. So I appreciate that. But I will ignore them, and you guys always help me out on that. So anyway, perfect. John got his stickers. Great. Tweety says hit the like button. Perfect. Gary says housekeeping starts with a Hudson badge. Well, we can definitely accommodate that. Brian, dispatch. They're letting him go back to the bus 2 days a week. Perfect. That's good news for Brian to get back on his bus, get back feeling back at home again. So that's a good sign. What the heck? We'll give you an Auburn badge, get everything rolling here. Anyway, lots of things happening. Dennis Chapman's here with us. Been a lot of things going on this week. A lot of interesting things happening. So we'll get into a little bit of open chat, and we'll get into the promo model. We'll get into the badges and emblems. And I've got a ton of auction stuff, way more than we're ever going to get through tonight. As you guys know, we try to do about 20 pieces a week, and I know there's at least 40 piled up in there right now. And actually, just a few minutes ago, I was looking for kind of some more basic stuff to get started with, and man, about everything's good. I mean, even it's all good in the next several weeks. Some of it might be not quite as good as others, but it's all good stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure Weston 66 Chevy trucks, mice get in the A-pillars, they get in the roof, and they rust everything out. That's for sure. No, it's not 2 for 1 tonight, Mark. Good try, but it's not 2 for 1. Scott's here with us on Facebook. Those kind of bothered me. I took an allergy pill this morning to try to kind of keep it reeled in. So Jeff from Ottawa's here. Anyway, well, big thing going on this week obviously was Mecum Glendale. Wix was there. Quite a sale. Kind of up and down on some stuff. Jim thought some stuff was still through the roof. Some stuff seemed like it was starting to soften up a little bit. So it was an interesting docket. Jim was there. My friend Doug Ray was there. He was actually helping some friends of his rep a car, the Atoll Blue 70 Judge convertible. So they did sell that car, and Wicks was actually bidding on it. He actually had a client on it as well, but they hammered that car at 240. But Wicks did buy a Yenko yesterday, and he also bought a 58 and a 62 Impalas. So he has some happy customers from Mecum Glendale this weekend. They did have a heck of a lineup. I was really surprised, especially, we're just shortly after the the tail end of the big January auctions, and they had a heck of a docket lined out there. I was really surprised. They had some really great cars, and it always is always the really rare stuff is always going to do well, but there seemed to starting to be some soft spots again. Or I guess they soft spots back to reality, really. X-Ray Dean's here. Scott 66 Fairlane GT in the mid 50s. Yeah, I think I did see that. There was a red convertible that I saw that was a 66. It was a good looking car. Numero uno is here. So they had of course, it seems like these last few years, every auction's been good. But, and like I said, we keep saying we're going to start seeing things shift back to reality. I think we're probably seeing signs of it. Now, okay, that was the convertible. Yep, that actually went through while I was at the desk eating lunch yesterday. The 15 minutes that I actually had it on. In fact, that's about all I did watch of it was about those 15 minutes while I was eating yesterday. But like I said, it's curious to see how long it's going to last. There's still some strong numbers being thrown around out there. Frank's here with us. Obviously, a full slate coming up for the year for Mecum. Barrett also adding auctions, adding New Orleans this year. Kenny Peterson's here. So there's still a full slate to go. We'll see how things shake out. Obviously, Barrett's got Palm Beach in a couple weeks where Doug Prey's cars are going, the Cord and the Bentley. Same weekend as that, exact same weekend, Mecum Houston, and then Mecum Indy, and then Mecum Tulsa is the next one that I may try to go to. Alex is here with us. Big Job is on. But like I said, they're always a good time. There's always a ton of cool cars there. And obviously the big dollar car still brought the big dollars this weekend, but it's going to be kind of curious that we're starting to see some reality come back into play on some of this stuff. So that's it's good for the market. There's going to have to be some sort of an adjustment at some point. This stuff has been so far off the rails that it's going to have to, and maybe we're starting to see the signs of that correction. We'll see how the rest of the year goes, but looks like they had a good weekend overall. It's always good to hear Jim got some stuff bought, so that way he got some of his clients taken care of too. Something we talked about a little bit last week. Things seem to have gotten even crazier. The new Dodge Demon. I saw some articles stating that the new Demons are now actually, I've got a buddy that just bought some Hellcats, and he checked into them right when they were first announced, and they were telling him you were looking 50 over. Well, according to some of the stuff that was put out this week, some of the press releases I saw this week, it was they're 100 over. I don't remember what he said. It was a green one. There was a green 69 Yenko. I'm assuming it was probably the green 69 because he just said green Yank. He got the green Yenko Camaros. So I don't know if the 67 was green or not. But so anyway, they're looking $100,000 over sticker. So if you want to go try to get you a new Demon, you're going to have to almost double the price the way it sounds. Kevin said, I've noticed some people are cutting the prices because they can't sell them that high. So maybe there's a few people that tried at 100 and they didn't get it done. So, but that's what I've seen, popping up in the press this week, that they were trying to get 100 over on them, which is crazy, but that happens. And then when something is that hot and that desirable, people go bonkers over it. Bentley videos all up. All the Bentley videos are up for the car that Doug Prey is sending to Palm Beach at no reserve. So if you're interested in a 34, was it a 34 Bentley? 36, I don't even remember it at this point. That it is going to Palm Beach. We've got all the videos up on that. If you missed any of those, there were 3 of those. You'll definitely want to go back and catch those. I did get all of those up. We still got a lot more cool stuff coming from Auburn Cord Duesenberg. We've got the Cord Speedster. We've got, their archives. We've got a lot of that stuff coming up yet as well on the ACD videos. So stay tuned for more of those, but I did want to let everybody know that all of the Bentley videos are now up. A couple of other things that I saw this week that I thought was very interesting. Obviously, you guys know I do a lot of work with Old Cars Weekly, so I kind of see what they've got going, occasionally. And I saw something very interesting on their website the other day. It's just oldcarsweekly.com, and I encourage all of you to go read this. It was pretty neat. This is the 50th anniversary of Old Cars Weekly, the publication. Now, I'm sure a lot of us remember back when it was literally like an old newspaper, black and white newsprint, fold open, came twice a month. So it, and I've remembered it that way for years. Obviously, it's a full regular magazine now with color pictures and everything. But they had a deal that they put out on their website this week called In the Headlights throughout the 50 years of Old Cars. As we celebrate a half century, Old Cars takes a stroll down memory lane. And I thought this was so cool. I haven't been through all of it yet, but okay, the 67 was red, so it must have been the green 69 that Wix got bought for a client. But this 50 years of Old Cars, they go by year, and it's really interesting. So it says the world has drastically changed throughout the last 50 years, but one thing has been constant: Old Cars' dedication to the hobby. We look back over the last 50 years and created a timeline of what was happening in the old car hobby, as well as the changes within Old Cars. So this was so cool. Now, and every year it goes through year by year, and it has, who the publisher was and who was the editor and things like that. And I agree with that. Number one, that Dodge will still be selling internal combustion muscle cars until 2026. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Obviously, like we've talked about, GM has announced they are developing another internal combustion engine. I see Chrysler as well as Ford and multiple other manufacturers doing the same thing in the near future. It starts with 1971 when the idea first came together. 72, 73, and was really cool stuff. Actually, I didn't even realize this. So they must have really republished this because it's a couple years old. So they moved it back to the top. So, but there's so much cool stuff in here. When you go through the years, like 1974, it talks about, who the publisher and who the editor was. But it says one report in Old Cars Weekly that month, Cadillac Ranch they wrote an article on Cadillac Ranch. The cars are pictured graffiti-less. So, cool things like that. Rain plagues the first Carlisle meet. Ford of Canada observes 70 years. Metropolitan Owners Club created in 1974. In 1975, all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, just goes through year by year. Like I said, this was a couple years old, but they just reposted it to the top. So I had missed it in the past. But it's just crazy to go back and just skip through this. 1975, and it says, where'd I just miss this thing? I just seen something. Well, like I said, there's so many points in here. Catalytic converters become the norm in 1975. All kinds of cool stuff year by year by year. And it's well worth going through. So go to oldcarsweekly.com. Like I said, they moved it. It's on their first page down towards the bottom. They bumped it back up to the top. The article is from about a year and a half ago, but well worth checking out again. So let me see. Let me get caught back up here with comments. Yeah, that's right. Like Alex says, you put 250,000 EV cars on the road and everything's going to be dark. I don't see him going back to an inline six, but let me see. Yeah, Pete, never seen a picture of graffiti-less Cadillac Ranch. Yep, that's true. It's kind of crazy. So I encourage everybody to go back and check this out because it was so neat, even though it is a year and a half old. When they moved it back to the top of their homepage on oldcarsweekly.com, I thought it was cool. And like I said, there's so many, I mean, it's pages and pages of all these different points of things that happened when, in that era. In 1976, 1932 Stutz Super Bearcat sells at Harrah's auction for a record $74,000. Last U.S. convertible, 1976 Eldorado, built April 21st. So just all kinds of cool stuff that, keeps popping up. So definitely well worth a read. So I wanted to bring that up to you guys as well. Something else I literally just saw just a little bit earlier today. Were the cars at Cadillac Ranch supposed to be graffitied? I don't think so. I think it just happened. It was just to bury Cadillacs as a statement or a piece of art, and then it kind of went from there, I think. So I don't know what the torque specs are for the Cummins side cover. Don't have any clue. So anyway, a couple more things I wanted to catch in open chat before we get into the promo model. I'm going to meet with Chris this week on F&E. So we're going to start working on the F&E Collector Auto Auction. Looks like our date this year is October the 7th. We're always the first weekend in October. Well, October 1st this year is on a Sunday. So the auction is actually, we're looking at October 7th for the auction this year. If any of you guys want to try to make it out, be sure to mark that on your calendar. Or if you want to consign a car or anything like that, be sure to let me know. So anyway, that's something else I wanted to bring up, and I'll bring you more details as we start talking about it and start throwing things together and getting it lined out. But looking forward to it. Hudson Badge. It's always a good time. Rico and Jess always come out. Seen a few other ones out. A few other guys there. It's always a great time, and always appreciate when you guys swing out and hang out with us. So, yeah, there's a lot of coats of paint on those Cadillacs. Alex, I knew Stanley that created. Oh. Alex says he knew the guy that created Cadillac Ranch, and he knew that they would be painted. So I guess that's it. Alex is in the loop on that deal. So there's the answer. He anticipated that happening. And yes, there are layers upon layers. We've been there. I got my Cadillac Ranch magnet right over there. I can see it from here. It's on my fridge. But yeah, like that thick of layers of paint on those cars. Yeah, it's crazy. One more thing real quick I want to catch, a couple more things real quick, actually. Before we get completely off the auctions, I did look up the Cord and the Bentley are both listed on Barrett for Palm Beach. The Cord is car 399. The Bentley is car 426. If anybody's interested to keep tabs on those cars when they cross the block here in a few short weeks. Now, one other thing I want to read you, and I just saw this a little bit ago. So I printed it off because I thought it was definitely noteworthy and definitely something that you guys would find interesting, because it was a moment in history that all car buffs can enjoy. And I've read this before, I'd heard about it, but actually hear the whole story in one little blurb, and I'll move through this pretty quick. But it's a well worth a read. If you want to know where it came from, next time you're on Facebook, look up the Facebook page, Real Cannonball Run. That's all it's called, Real Cannonball Run. They had this today because of the anniversary of the 1979 running 44 years ago today. So I'm going to read through this real quick, and we're going to share a little bit of information of the little bit of the story of the Cannonball Run from 1979. Barry from Brunswick, Georgia is on with us on Facebook. Glad you're here, Barry. 44 years ago today, on April Fool's Day, 1979, 1:45 a.m., Hal Needham, Brock Yates, Lyle Royer, and Pam Yates approached the starting line in a heavily modified 1978 Dodge Sportsman van, the Transcon Medevac. So anybody that's seen the original Cannonball Run, I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, but if you don't, that actually happened. The movie was based on the actual running with the Transcon Medevac, which we just happen to have a toy of right here, because I love Cannonball Run, Transcon Medevac, epic. So I'm sure some of you guys have probably heard this. We'll run through this real quick. It's pretty cool. The 1979 Cannonball would be the final Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash. The Needham Yates entry was the favorite to win the final running of the Cannonball. Yates had started all this madness in 1971 as a middle finger to the 55-mile-per-hour speed limit. Yates had previously won the Cannonball and was prepared to defend his title. Needham was considered the greatest stuntman and precision driver of all time. What could go wrong? A few months prior, in a bar on the Sunset Strip, Hal Needham came up with the ultimate disguise to run across the country at a high rate of speed and to go undetected. As a professional stuntman, he'd been in countless ambulances. If he had one that could do 100-plus mile an hour and carry plenty of fuel, he'd have the perfect vehicle. He called Brock Yates and said, "You've got to do it one more time." Within a week, that's Hershey week. Okay. Within a week, Hal had ordered a brand new 1978 B200 Dodge Sportsman in two-tone sunrise orange and spinnaker white, so they didn't have to paint the van. It was built in those colors. The guys bought all the appropriate external ambulance fittings, installed a Dick Landy built 502, and an overdrive transmission. Most of all the conversion work was done by the famed Bill Mitchell at his shop in Connecticut. To make things totally kosher, they had some medical supplies in the van, a gurney, a doctor named Lyle Royer, which Hal met at the same bar on the Sunset Strip. Brock's wife, Pam, was the patient. They were transporting her coast to coast by ground because her condition forbade her from flying. They figured if any cop stopped them, the entire story was just crazy enough to work. Quite a few. Yeah, I've seen it. There's still people running the Cannonball. In fact, they just announced a new Cannonball record the other day that was run about a year ago. Now that the statute of limitations had run out on it. So Doug's here with us. I think there's only two of those knuckleheads in here tonight. Pete remembers waiting on the Cannonball to come. Doug's got the same mobile pump. So somebody else is going to have that one tonight when we give it away here shortly. The previous Cannonballs had departed from the Red Ball Garage on East 31st Street in New York City. This was the location where Car and Driver magazine stored their test vehicles. In 1979, the starting line had been moved to Darien, Connecticut, because the event had been leaked to the press. Countless reporters staked out the Red Ball Garage awaiting the arrival of the entrants. As the hours went on, many of them realized they'd been had. Brock's longtime friend, George Lyle, agreed to host the send-off from his restaurant, the Lock, Stock, and Barrel. George can be seen standing next to Brock on a dumpster behind the restaurant during the drivers' meeting. And Mark says this was going to look pretty good on his wall too. Yep. Mark is in to win this month, and Kenny is in to win this month. I almost guarantee you we're going to pull at least Mark's name, if not Mark's and Kenny's. We're going to pull one of them, I'm pretty sure, because both those guys are swinging for the fences this month. Yep, that's good. Kenny just said same thing. Yep, Kenny and Mark are both swinging on this one. As the departure time approached, the Transcon Medevac had some serious mechanical problems and could barely run under its own power. Within moments of punching their time card, the Transcon Medevac traveled less than 100 yards before it died. Hal's dream of having the fastest ambulance on Earth was fading due to an improperly set up carburetor. He jumped out of the driver's seat with a stack of $100 bills and offered them to anyone that can make this rolling experiment run correctly. As luck would have it, a couple of mechanics were there, attending the largest all-night party that Darien had ever seen. In the middle of the night, they broke into an auto parts store, retrieved the correct parts that the ambulance needed. The ambulance left the starting line sideways as it tore out of the Goodwife Shopping Center parking lot into the darkness. Now that the bugs were worked out, the Transcon Medevac easily hit triple digits, leaving mile markers in its rear view. Hal noticed something else in that same rear view, another set of flashing lights. After a short chase, they were pulled over by a couple of local New Jersey police officers. Have you seen the movie? The Transcon Medevac gets pulled over and the doctor explains that the patient cannot be transported by plane because of a rare lung disease. This actually happened, and the dialogue that Dr. Lyle Royer produced was used in the movie almost verbatim, even though they had passed countless exits, including one with a hospital. Reluctantly, officers Fennick and Schmittig let them go. Bill said there was also a model kit of the Transcon Medevac. So, Alec from New Hampshire's on with us. The Transcon Medevac made great time across Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, but all was not well in the belly of the beast. The gremlins that plagued the ambulance in Darien got worse in Effingham, Illinois. Even though countless hours of planning had gone into the Transcon Medevac, most of it was untested and the exotic overdrive transmission started to fail. The Transcon Medevac stumbled across the country until he finally died in the Palm Desert at Wheel Inn Cafe, where the Cabazon dinosaurs are. These are the same dinosaurs that appeared in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, sculpted by Claude Bell. After multiple quarts of transmission fluid, the most feared entry in the final Cannonball Run had been defeated. Though he didn't finish under his own power, Hal Needham peeled off enough $100 bills to have the ambulance loaded onto a flatbed truck that happened to be at the same truck stop. A few hours later, the flatbed arrived at the Portofino Inn carrying the Transcon Medevac. Even though the Transcon Medevac made it to the finish line, the record books reflect a DNF. So, Tony's here with us. Jay's on. So there it is. The quick story being April 1st was yesterday of Transcon Medevac. So I'm sure a lot of you guys knew that story. But if some of you didn't, the original Cannonball Run, now Cannonball Run 2 obviously was more of a movie that was made. But the original Cannonball Run was based on these knuckleheads going out and doing that in an ambulance. All literally based right on a true story of Brock Yates and Hal Needham running coast to coast in the Transcon Medevac. Sam's here with us. So anyway, how about a promo model? Nobody knows where the van is. The van there's been replicas built, but the actual original van has been lost to time. So if you open an old garage somewhere and there's an orange and white Dodge van in there with some old blue letters that say Transcon on it, you might look under the hood and see if it's got a Dick Landy big block in it, because it's still out there. Well, we think it's out there, but nobody knows. Nobody knows what happened to it. Joe's here. Excuse me. Leo's here. Joe's here. I don't know if they had the red lights and sirens all the way or not. Probably not, because it would have just attracted more attention. But something else I want to share with you guys real quick before we get into the promo. I had something else done this week. I sent a few to Doug Prey. I'm hoping that they get there prior to the cars shipping. And I'll take some of these with me if I do some videos with Jim and stuff at some Meekums. But I had these stickers made. I sent some to Doug to put on the window of the cars before they ship them to Barrett. So just thought I'd share these with you guys too. And like I said, I hope they get there before they ship the cars, put them on the window. That way people will know to go check out the videos on them. Kevin likes them. I thought they were kind of neat. You know, Doug's not going to the auction, but we've got the videos out there. If we tell people to look for the videos, it's going to give them a chance to hear Doug talking about the cars. So Colorado Memorial's here with us. The Ken Kiersey Magic Bus Forward is here in Taos. That one I'm not familiar with. Oh, but you want to... These stickers were about $2 a piece is what they cost me, almost $2 a piece. So if anybody wants any of these, yeah, I mean, a couple bucks a piece, and I'll throwing them in your boxes. But that's what Brad says everybody should have for their cars. So yeah, if anybody wants them, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll sell them to you too. That's about what they cost. But that's what I had them made for, was to put on the windows of cars, like when we're going to auctions, or like anything we do at F&E. If I do a video on it, you know, I'll be having to stick them on the windows just to prompt people to, you know, get the thing out, look it up, and gives them a chance to learn more about the cars, especially like that Bentley, you know, or buy a Cord that's coming straight from the factory. You don't get that opportunity, you know, very often. Big Dog, curious if you have a passenger side glass for a 56 International. That glass is flat. You can just get that cut. It's easier to just get that cut at a local glass shop than it is to try to get a used one. I suppose, and it was made into a fire truck. So yeah, if it's been modified at all, you'd have to do that. But it being that's flat glass, Big Dog, I would just suggest going to your glass shop and having one cut. Eloy says, put one in his box. Your box is already gone, Eloy. Well, your last box is already gone, but you ain't seen what we got in here yet. So we'll probably have a new box for you this week. Mark wants some. Brian Dispatch wants some. free with every $2 raffle ticket purchase. That would put me behind. Hudson badge. But anyway, tonight's promo model. This one has a little bit of damage, and I haven't repaired it yet because I don't know a good way to repair it, but I do have the piece for it. I was pretty excited about this one. Reason being, I almost bought one of these at an auction several years ago. But they had a 56 4-door hardtop, and they had this one. I took the 4-door hardtop. No, it's not a Skylark. And but I didn't take this one, and I always regretted it. But this was years ago, and I didn't have the money to buy everything I wanted that day. I bought a few things, and this is one I let go. So when I came up with this one, even though it's got a little bit of damage, I was still pretty excited about it. Shopcat's here with us on the 1956 Chevrolet Bel Air station wagon. Now you see the front bumper is missing. I've got it right here. It's just the little tabs that hold it to the car broke off. This promo definitely has warpage to it. It is kind of an orangish brown and white. I don't know if you can see some of the warp in it there. You know, other than the front bumper, like I said, I've got the front bumper, and it's even got the little tabs right here where it broke off. I just got to find a good epoxy to put it back together. Pete's loving it. So the back looks good. It's got one chipped corner on the rear bumper. You can see the dip in the roof. And you can really see it on the bottom. You can really see the warp on the bottom. And this one was actually a bank. Bill wants a sticker too. Okay. It actually says on the bottom, it looks like we've seen on some of these other Chevrolet promos, to help you save for a rainy day or help you buy your new Chevrolet on the bottom. Alec likes it too, likes the colors. But you can see the warpage here, You know, it happened. You know, these are old. This is old plastic. This had kind of a green tint on the windows. Did not have an interior in it because that's why I'm sure this had kind of a tinted window, because that's where your bank is at. I don't know if you guys can make it out or not. You can see through it back here, but you can't up here because this is your bank here in the middle. Now, if we look in the front, you can get another better view of it right here and right here. You can see down the sides, but your bank is right in there. Shopcat is acetate-based plastic pre-polystyrene. Could be. A lot of comments on the color. A lot of guys, both Facebook and YouTube. And it's kind of a funky color. It's not, to me, it's not a real attractive color. It's kind of, well, like number one said, baby formula colors. Yeah, it's kind of what it is, baby formula colors. It's not orange. It's not brown. I mean, this is an off-white, almost like an ivory on the back. That's obvious. But not the most attractive color combination, but definitely different, and it looks clean, and it fits the lines of the car. And I think that's probably what makes it stand out, what makes the color work, is it fits the lines of the car. So there it is for tonight, the promo. And that's right. That's right, Big Job. It is still cool because it's different. You don't see a lot of them. And that's why I was excited to finally get one after I missed the one several years ago at that auction where I took the 4-door hardtop but couldn't swing both of them. So now I've got them both. So even though it's not perfect, it's still a nice looking piece. Shined up real nice, bright colors, and looks good. So 57 Buick promo, that would be pretty cool too. So there it is, the 56 Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door wagon bank promo. Adobe Beige and Sierra Gold. That could absolutely be what it's called, something like that. I'm not sure. But on to some badges and emblems. As always, we'll start off with a pre-war badge. We'll give you another pre-war badge here, another pre-war badge to think about in the meantime. And then we'll move up a few decades to a post-war badge. Our pre-war badge this month, or this week, is going to come from the window of 1926 to 1928 for the Nash automobile. This was a pretty basic one. Nothing real exotic. Just a chrome goldish type trim with a black background. The black is enameling on these. It is 2 1/4 by 1 3/4 inches, so 2 1/4 wide, 1 3/4 inches tall. Had a little clip thing on the back. It didn't have the big round button like a lot of these have that we're typically used to, but it still had a little clip. Almost looked like a rod could have went through it to hold it on, but I'm not sure. It's basically just a flat badge for the 1926 to 1928 era Nash. This one is nice. It's not chipped up. You can obviously see the gloss in the black enameling on this one. Bill says super glue will get the bumper. Okay, I was wondering about that. Also makes me think of the 80s Nissan badge. I guess you kind of could. Yeah, maybe they swiped it from Nash. Yeah, I just gave you some. We'll give you some more, number one. We'll keep lining them up. And that's right. Yeah, it is great condition. It is a cool piece, especially considering it's coming from the 1926 to 1928 window. And next, as always, we're going to step this thing up 50 years this time. And I didn't think about this because we've done Buick badges the last couple weeks, and we're going to do another Buick badge tonight. So, in honor of that, I guess we'll sell you a Buick cap here in a little bit. And we'll do something different than Buick on the next, on the post-war badge next week. So, but this badge, new old stock in the package, you can see it does have tape on the back, so it is double-sided tape. It is plastic. This badge to me is super cool. I'm a huge fan of it because it fits one of my cars. This is the hood badge. I believe it's the hood badge. I didn't actually take it back to my car and check the length. For the turbocharged 3.8 liter Buick V6 in the late 70s. That's right, Leo. None of us were alive probably at that point. That's another good point, Leo. That thing's older than all of us. So obviously, like we've talked about before, I've got a 78 Turbo Regal stuffed back in the corner of the shop. I've had it since, when I was in junior high, 87, 88. Holy cow. I've had that car for like 35 years. I think. Yeah. I've had that car almost 35 years. I just kind of sunk in. That's weird. But this is a cool piece. I like it. Some of you guys are liking it as well. It is 6.5 inches long. Michael likes Buicks too, so I thought it was neat. 6.5 inches long. This went on the side, I believe, on the hood bulge on the Turbo Regals, and as well as I think the Turbo Centuries and Turbo LeSabres probably use this badge somewhere as well. So, and it's kind of crazy. You think about, well, that's plastic with double-sided tape. That's not old. It's 45 years old. Right in that window, 40. They may have used it a few years after that, but 40 to 45 years old. So Brian just says keep bringing more Buick badges. So that's what we've got for tonight for the post-war badge, moving up about 50 years from our initial badge of the Nash from 26 to 28, and then up to the Turbo 3.8 liter. Now, at the time, and what was such a big deal with these was the only company making a turbo production car was Porsche. And in 78, Buick, you could get it in a Regal or a LeSabre, and then in 79, you could get it in a Regal, a LeSabre, or a Century, which was the little chopped off G-body where they had kind of the sloped roof. You could get that in a Turbo Century, and those are very, very seldom seen. I found one time, and it was already in a stack to be crushed. The only thing I could get off of it was the rear trunk lid with the spoiler on it. But yep, that's right, Leo. Regals are old. That's the crazy part about it. 1978, the first year of the G body, which it was actually still technically called an A body in 78 when it was first released, but was 45 years ago. So that's what we've got for tonight. The 26 to 28 Nash, the late 70s turbo 3.8 for a turbocharged V6 Buick. That's right. The buttless Cutlass. That's exactly right, Shopcat. You could get a Buick Century in that body style that was turbocharged as well. All right. Who's ready for some auctions? Mark is. Mark is already ready to go. Yeah, it did kind of look like an upsized Citation. I never thought about it that way, Shopcat, but that's a good way to put it. Time for the auctions. I got my notepad out. As always, I will hold up an item. We will look at it. We will talk about it. We will talk about that vehicle. We will look at the condition. We will show you any damage. I will give you dimensions so we know what we're talking about. As we're doing that, please feel free to throw out a bid to let me know we've got some interest in that particular piece. After we get done talking about it, looking at it, cussing it, discussing it, the next thing I will put it on a timer on my phone. I will kick this on. We will go 2 minutes at that point. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. As always, we're dealing with a delay. Everybody's dealing with a delay. Your delay is going to vary depending on your device and your provider. Tablet, phone, TV, PC, laptop, as well as your internet provider. Some have 5-second delays. Some have 30-second delays. So when I tell you that minute 30 has passed, it is time to be thinking about your maximum bid, because just like Eloy said, sniper time is here. And we've got, after the first few items, some guys get it figured out pretty quick. So be thinking about your maximum bid at that minute 30 mark. Once we get, and at 2 minutes, whoever's high bidder on my screen at 2 minutes is who I'm going to announce as the winner, because sometimes based on the feeds, sometimes there's a higher bid that doesn't get to me. So that's the thing about thinking about giving yourself a little extra time on that and your max bid. There's the 1 minute mark. I will announce that. And so please keep that in mind as we're going through this. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family, all fine. Not a problem. Most items, shipping is included in the 48 states. So we really don't have anything big tonight that will have additional shipping on it. So all this stuff will include shipping in the 48 states. If you're a non-U.S. bidder and you want to play along, that's fine, not a problem. You will just need to figure out getting me paid, which is typically a wire, where there's a fee associated with that, as well as out of the country shipping. This thing kind of supports itself. So if we have to spend a fortune shipping 2 or 3 boxes out of the country, then it's not fair to everybody else to replenish the auction boxes in coming weeks. So please bear that in mind. If you've got any questions, just let me know. As always, if you see something you're not sure what to do, but you want to bid on it, go ahead, bid. Call me tomorrow. My number's in the description part of the video, and we'll get it figured out. Not a problem. So real simple, real easy. You got any questions, be sure to throw them up there, or just go ahead and bid and call me tomorrow and we'll work it out. All right, time to hit refresh, guys. Everybody hit the refresh, get caught up, make sure you're completely up to speed on the time with the feed. Leo, a friend of mine had a new Regal a few miles, got stuck sideways in a ditch and blew the motor. All right. As always, I've got guys on Facebook. I've got guys on YouTube. Most guys are on YouTube, but I do still have some bidders on Facebook. So if I announce a bid you can't see, it's probably on the other format. Please bear that in mind. We'll start the night off with a rerun from a couple of months ago. For the most part, we're doing really well at getting paid for things, but there have been a couple things here and there that haven't gotten paid. So we'll start tonight off with a rerun on a badge bundle that didn't get paid for from the middle of February. So it's been almost 2 months. So Auburn badge. And like we talked about, if you guys want to wait a couple weeks before you pay, especially the guys that send check or money order, that's not a problem. and we let it build up, so we do it all at once. I perfectly understand that. But this, after we get 6-8 weeks out, I kind of figure you're probably, and it's not a name, like this was a new name, not one of the regulars. It was 6 or 7 weeks out, so we're going to resell it. Number one had an 87 Cutlass Sierra with a 3.8. Oh, this is talking to Shopcat. Okay. Leo says the snipers are ready. Let's get into this first badge bundle. Like I said, rerun for our Mopar fans, and then we'll get we got a little bit of everything tonight. So, hey, there's a cat right here. We can sell a cat too. We'll sell you. But the badge bundle, the Mopar badge bundle that we've got tonight, starting off with a basic Dodge. This is a plastic Dodge, probably from the 80s. Chrome-plated plastic. Joe's Classics is here. 7 3/8 inches long. And almost an inch tall. It is flat, double-sided tape, so easy to stick anywhere. The next badge, a 100 off of a mid-60s Dodge pickup. They use this on the grill and I think on the side both. This is chrome-plated pot metal. It does have a few pits in it. Nice, bright, shiny chrome. It is flat. It is stud mount. And it is 5 3/4 by 1 3/4 inches. 5 3/4, 1 3/4 inches. The last one we've got actually it's supposed to be a one-piece emblem. It is broke. It is 2 pieces, but it is flat. You could put it anywhere on the job rated from the mid-50s. Broke right there. Chrome-plated pot metal. It is flat. It is stud mount, so you could put it about anywhere and mount it back together. So there it is. All 3 pieces. Well, 4 pieces technically, but basically 3 pieces on the Dodge Truck Badge Bundle. Rerun from 6 or 8 weeks ago. So if I can figure out how to hold on to all this stuff. Who's going to get us rolling on this one? Sometimes this gets a little tricky. Mark at 10. X-Ray at 12. I think I got him here. Well, kind of. All right, we'll do that. We're on the timer. I'm going to make notes. And we are going. I did hit the timer a little bit ago. X-Ray at 12. The middle badge, this was Brian at 13. It's job rated off of a 52, 53 era Dodge pickup, but it's broke. Both pieces are there. It is flat, a flat mount piece. Mark at 15. So if you were going to mount it on a toolbox or on a wall, you could put it back together and hold it there. As we hit the 1 minute mark, I've got Mark at 15. And coming up on the minute 30, there's our minute 30. We've hit the minute 30 mark. Mark at 15. $20 seconds to go. Joe's Mopar's at 17. X-Ray at 18. And that does it. X-Ray Dean at 18. Charles came back at 20. Charles was in at 21 at 2 seconds too late. Mark was back at 20. But X-Ray Dean at 18 is who I had at the 2 minute mark. So it says there is definitely some lag tonight. So that's what we need to be careful. That's what we need to watch. For these first few items, I'll announce all the bids to kind of so people can kind of get an idea of where they are at. Like I said, like I usually do on the first few items, I always do try to announce all of them. I don't know if you guys want to hit refresh since we do have some lag. Everybody's kind of dragging tonight. I could have definitely seen Charles with those. Charles has got a sweet little red Express, so being a Dodge pickup guy, Charles was just kind of waiting there towards the end. It was just 2 seconds too late, but he's a Dodge truck guy too, so. Job rated going on X-Ray's toolbox. Yep, it's a cool piece. So anyway, promised you a Buick piece to start off tonight. Let me get that out. I got so many hubcaps in there. I tried to reach down and grab it and it couldn't go. Tony said he's 30 seconds behind. So please bear that in mind once we hit that minute 30 mark. I got a lot of everything tonight. This is kind of a rougher cap. Good one to start out with. But it is a Buick piece like I promised you. We're going to give you a Hudson badge there in the meantime. This is like late 60s, early 70s, probably 69, 70 era. This is kind of a banged up cap, but it's pretty bright. You guys might want to bust out the sunglasses. We get into some of these caps. But check this thing out with a big tri-shield on it. Does kind of look like a mirror. That's right, Leo. It'll be a sniper's party with that kind of delay. This has lots of dings and dents in it. Tri-shield very prominently displayed on there. Bid round numbers like hundreds. That'll work too. Has kind of a serrated edge around here with the tri-shield in the middle. Like I said, this is like 69, 70 or a special. You don't see a lot of these. Alex started us off at 15 because, most Buicks didn't have poverty caps. They just didn't. Some of them did, but Buick just didn't use a lot of them. They at least had full-size wheel covers on pretty much everything. This is a 10.5 inch in diameter cap. Tri-shield, everything. This is all stamped in. This is all stamped in, painted black and painted black. Typical dings and dents, but nice shine. Good looking Buick cap. Let's get it rolling. I've got Alex at 15 to get this party started on the Buick cap. So I'll keep an eye on that as I look and see what we want to do next. Yeah, it would make a cool clock. Yep. I guess you got plenty of markings on it already. Last week was about normal, big job, about what we usually do. And actually, that was just because of that one big plate. We would have been behind last week had it not been for that one real rare license plate. So. And there's the 1 minute mark. We've hit the 1 minute mark. Alex at 15. And a minute 20 has passed. Steel Ponies, Jeff is here. Minute 30's passed. Coming out of the end of this one, Alex at 15. 20 seconds to go. Make this real easy on Alex. Nope, Tweedledee at 25. 10 seconds left. Tweedledee at 25. And that will do it. Tweedledee at 25. And Alex came back at 28, just a little too late. That's right, Mark. I think Norma did say she would be in Branson this week. How about a can? Let's do a can. We got some, like I told you guys, I got a bunch of cool, all old school metal cans to sell. This is kind of different. Norway antifreeze. This is a quart. Steel painted, cool graphics, good colors. Norway antifreeze. It is open. The top has been cut out. We can see the actual steel seam right here. It is poison. Do not drink antifreeze, just in case you weren't quite sure. Jess is here. Bottom is still intact. It is a different kind of can. It is a little different. It does have the mixture chart on the back. In fact, this is kind of cool. Maybe I should have kept it, actually. Starting to wonder. Tweedledee at 5. Great. Now I got to sell it. Has a star up here. 1 quart. Product of Commercial Solvents, New York, New York. Tweedledee at 5. Steel Ponies Jeff at 10. On the Norway antifreeze. We are on the timer. I did hit the button there just a second ago, so we are boogieing. Steel Ponies Jeff at 10. Mark at 13. Big Job, never seen that one. It's a good looking can. It is. As we've hit the 1 minute mark, Mark at 13, 1 minute has passed. Definitely kind of different. Steel Ponies Jeff at 14. There's the minute 20 mark. Jeff at 14. Minute 30 is passed. Jeff at 14. Mark at 15. 20 seconds left to go. Tweedledee at 25. 10. And that does it. Tweedledee at 25. How about a license plate? Good starter plate here. If Norman's not on, you guys got a shot tonight, at least. That's all I can say. We'll give you a Hudson badge to think about it, though. Mike from New Waverly, Texas is here. This plate, it's actually got a torn corner on it, but it definitely has aged well color-wise. We've done some of these in the past, but this one has really clean aluminum. This is one of the ones that is an aluminum, an unpainted aluminum, where they just painted the letters and numbers on the 1950 Kansas plate. So this is all bare aluminum here on the background. Obviously the front or the backside all bare aluminum, and the only thing that was painted was the green on the numbers and the letters. This corner is torn out, but overall this plate doesn't look too shabby. It's got some other scuff marks on it here, but a pretty decent looking plate. It is a standard size plate, like we're used to, about 12 by 6, I believe. Does have some other bends and damage to it, but not bad. Still presents well. It is 12 by 6. So decent looking, good starter plate. You know, obviously not a $100 plate with a torn corner, but that's right, Leo. It's a good starter piece. It presents well. You can hang it on the wall. It's going to look good, and it's not going to cost, you know, I wouldn't shouldn't cost you $100. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, let's roll on the 1950 Kansas license plate. Make my notes here. And nothing yet. That's kind of odd. Oh, Alec at 10. I was like, how can there not be anything here? Alec at 10. Mark at 10. I got Alec first. And that's right, Alan. It does give it some character. And the nice part about it is the damage doesn't really take away from what it is. Jeff, Steel Ponies, Jeff at 12. Mark at 14. Michael at 15 on Facebook. As we've hit the 1 minute mark. We're just past it. Michael at 15. Minute 20 has passed. And there's our minute 30 mark. Michael at 15. Minute 30 has passed. Now's the time to jump in. Alec at 16. Leo at 16. I've got Alec at 16 first on Facebook. Michael at 18. 10 seconds left. Michael at 18. And that does it. Michael at 18. Michael on Facebook at 18. So who wants to do a toy? I only got one toy tonight, I think. Well, I got promo. One little toy you can play with. We sold a couple of these last week. I think Eloy got them last week. John, watching with his father-in-law from Idaho. Everybody wants to say hi to Russell that's hanging out with John Anderson. So everybody say hi to Russell and welcome him to the group of nobodies. Just check out this little dump truck. Brian says he can't fix his lag tonight. So, yeah, and like I said, we deal with it all the time. So, this is a Foden dump truck. It is metal. Let's see what it says. Foden is the brand. Foden dumper truck, Matchbox Series, king size. Made in England by Lesney on this Foden dump truck. This is metal. It's got plastic tires. All the tires and wheels are there and intact. Pretty decent shape, really. Mark, let's see. Bill at 8, Mark at 16, Tweedledee at 10, and Alec at 12. So we've got Mark at 16. That's a great small. It is 4 1/4, 1 3/4, and 2 inches. So it's 4 1/4, 1 3/4, and about 2 inches tall. So I've got Mark at 16 is my high bidder. It's really in good shape. It does dump. It's not really too beat up, too tore up, anything like that. Still looks pretty decent for its age. Alec at 18. And it's metal, so it's Mark at 20. And there is 1 minute right there. Mark at 20. Minute 20's passed. Minute 30's passed. Mark at 20. $20 seconds left to go. Kenny at 22 with 10 seconds left. Kenny at 22. Bill Disk at 23. Mark at 24. And that does it. Mark at 24. That one got interesting in the last 10 seconds, but Mark at 24 was the last man standing when we hit the 2-minute mark. All right. What else we got? Let's see. We're going to do something kind of different here. We've never done anything like this. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like it enough to bid on it. I thought it was kind of cool when I grabbed it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I thought I would offer it to you guys and see if there was any interest on your end on this little clipboard. What's so exciting about a little clipboard? Well, it's kind of a neat little clipboard. It is metal. It is 9 inches by 5.5, so it's 9 by 5.5, so it's small. Brian says I'm 1 minute behind in his comments. I'm not sure where you're at on that. I don't know if you tried to refresh to see if it'll catch you up. But those last 3 bids all came in within the last 10 seconds of my timer, so we're not too far off on things. So this little clipboard, what's cool about it? It's obviously got this green felt backing on it. But what's cool about it is from Highway GMC in Grand Island, Nebraska. Does work. This is all metal. It's gold. Jess at 15. Kenny at 15. Jeff at 10. But we've got Jess at 15 is the first one. So does still work. Jeff at 16. Kenny at 20 on the new Highway GMC clipboard. Jess at 23. Eloy at 25. We are on the timer. We are going. Eloy at 25. All right. Eloy at 25 out all those bids. Kenny at 26 for the Highway GMC clipboard. A little bit of chipping up here. This is a hole right here where you could hang it on the wall. This is all steel. You can see the spring in there. Kenny at 26. And there's the 1 minute mark. Minute 20 has passed. Kenny at 26 is still our high bidder on my end. And now's the time to be thinking about it because there's the minute 30 mark. We're coming down to the wire. A lot of interest in this thing right out of the gate. We'll see what happens here. If you guys are going to come back at it, or Kenny's going to walk out here at 26 on this one. 20 seconds left to go. Ten seconds left. Eloy at 30. And that does it. Eloy at 30 got it done. Steel Ponies Jeff at 27, but Eloy at 30 at about 158 and change. So Eloy hit that one just right. That's kind of like last week. When Eloy hit it, it was coming in at 158, but he had just as many coming in at 202. So that one, he slid her in just right. So how about we do another badge? This badge is banged up a little bit and the color's faded, but it's still a great badge. I've got it new stock in my collection because I love this badge so much. But it is the 1947 Buick front hood badge. Mark's old 62 Impala came from somewhere in Nebraska. But this is the badge that went right on the front of the hood of a 47 Buick. Now, 48 used a very similar one. However, 48 was plastic. This 47 was metal. With this would have actually been red and blue diamonds in here, just like we've looked at on other Buick badges. This piece here, it is slightly V'd. It's a great looking piece. It's about the size of the palm of your hand. I'll give you some dimensions on this thing so you guys have an idea. It's about 4 3/4 by about 3. It's about 4 3/4 by like 3 1/8 from the tip here to up to here. So cool looking piece. It's dented here a little bit. Alex started us off at 15. On the 47 Buick front hood badge, it is stud mount, metal backed stud mount, and it does have a slight V to it because it is right on the peak of the hood. Jess at 25. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer and go with it. Mark at 23, but I already had Jess at 25. Yeah, but it is about the right size for a belt buckle. Alec at 30. I've got Alec at 30. Jess at 35. And there's the 1 minute mark. Jess at 35. This was based off the Buick family crest. Is where this was based off of. Minute 20 has passed. Jess at 35. Alec at 37. And there's the minute 30 mark. Alec at 37 at the minute 30 mark, depending on where your delay is. Time to be thinking about it if you want to dive in on this one. Alec at 37. Ten seconds left. Tweedly D at 38. Eloy at 38, but I already had Tweedly D at 38. And that does it. Tweedly D at 38. Brian Dispatch came in at 45, but we were already done just a few seconds too late. Tweedledee at 38. Eloy had the same bid, but I saw Tweedledee first. Eloy was right after him. Old School's here. So that was a cool piece. What else do we got? Something we haven't done is Old School's been busy. Hey, no problem. Glad you made it back tonight for a while. This actually isn't a hood ornament. It's actually a fender ornament, but it's kind of like a hood ornament, so we're going to sell it because it's cool looking. I think this is 41 Chevy front fender ornament. Check that out. Chrome plated pop metal. This would have mounted on top of the front fender right above the headlight. Looks, it looks just like a hood ornament, but they had one on each side. When you look at the detail in the casting of this thing, really pretty amazing. This is chrome plated pop metal. It does have a few pits in it, but it's not bad. Mark at 20. Yeah, Art Deco bullet train. That's actually about what it looks like. Yeah, or a weapon. Yeah, it could be used as a weapon. So pop metal, good looking piece. Fridge handle. Yep. It is fairly long. 17 and a quarter. 17 and a quarter, inch and a quarter across the base on this one. So, like I said, not technically a hood ornament, but kind of the same type of format, and it sure looks good. Let's get this thing on the timer. I've got Mark at 20 kicking us off. Let me make some notes here. John at 21, Alex at 30, Mark at 35. Yeah, it does actually. It looks like it's moving while it's sitting still. That's exactly, and I'm sure that was exactly what they were going for in that time period. One minute has passed. We're past the 1 minute mark, and we've got Mark at 35. That's right, Alex. Looks like the Coors Silver Bullet. That's exactly what it looks like. It's the Coors Silver Bullet train. Minute 20 is passed. Yeah, we sold a Buick badge. Yeah, last thing we sold was a Buick badge. This is 41 Chevy front fender, I believe. 41 Chevy car. Minute 35 is passed. Missed the minute 30 mark. Minute 35. 20 seconds left to go. Mark at 35 with 10 seconds left. Kenny at 41. Pete at 44, right at the 2 minute mark. Pete at 44. Holy cow. It's a good thing Pete didn't blink because he didn't have any more time left than that. It was like going from 159 to 200 when that 44 hit. So. All right, we're going to sell another plate. This is a little bit rougher, but it's kind of cool. I think these have a pretty good following if they're in good shape, but this one's a little tough. I actually found it in that salvage yard, found it in the trunk of a car over there in Missouri. For our Ford fans, I know we got Big Job on. I don't know who else we got on there for Ford fans. Haven't seen the Highlander on here yet tonight. But for our Ford fans, like I said, this is a little rough, but it's still cool. It is original. And it is an old school. I think this is probably late 60s, early 70s is when they did these. For our Ford fans, because this is Ford Country. This is a regular size license plate. It is embossed, so you can see it's all stamped in here, but there is surface rust on this corner. A little bit of rust out on the very edge here, but definitely surface rust here. All the blue and white you can see is original paint. It is bent a little bit. Like I said, I found it in the trunk of a car in that old salvage yard. Alec at 10. Leo at 10, but I had Alec first. X-Ray at 18. Mark's agreeing with me, early 70s is what he's thinking. So, let me double, yeah, basically just basically 12 by 6, pretty close to that. X-Ray Dean at 18, let's get it on the timer. Just kind of cool, a little bit crusty. Leo at 20. Alec at 20. I got Leo at 20 first over here. I don't know if these were a dealer deal or what, but I know I've seen them before, and I think they've got a little bit of a following. Just this one's a little bit rough. So I had Leo at 20 first here. If Alec, if you want to come back any more than 20. Shiffy must have made the plate since it's rusty. Good point, X-Ray. And there's the 1 minute mark. Leo at 20. Alec at 23. Alec's got a 67 Mustang. Alec at 23. And there's the minute 20 mark. And there's the minute 30. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Michael at 24 on Facebook. Michael at 24, 20 seconds left. X-Ray at 25. And that does it. X-Ray Dean at 25. Got that in at about 158. Bill Disk at 31. X-Ray at 25 is who we had at the 2 minute mark. Highlander at 26. All kinds of bids coming in. So Highlander was sitting out there. He was just waiting for some cool Ford to pop up. But X-Ray Dean is who I had at the 2 minute mark. You know something we haven't done yet tonight? The horn buttons that me and Jess picked out at the Wichita Swap Meet from John. We need to get some of these worked in here. We just get one of those knocked out right now. Like I said, there's so much stuff jam-packed in here tonight. Yep, Highlander was trying to be sneaky. Yep, that's what I figured. Laying low till something cool Ford pops up. All right. If you guys remember the video from the Wichita Swap Meet, Jess and I did some shopping, hanging out with John. He worked us a deal on some horn buttons so we could share them with you and add some of them to your collection. So we got 3 left. We'll definitely get 2 of these tonight. We may put the other one off till next week. We'll see how things go. But this is a really great one with really great colors. I think this is early 50s on a Chevrolet horn button. This is plastic. It has great colors. There are some slight hairline cracks in it. If we can get the light just right, you can kind of see there. We can see a few of the little cracks over here, but nothing too serious. This is, embossed in the back in the plastic, silver paint behind the colors to protect it. Obviously, it was taken off. I think it was used, but taken off a long time ago. Alec at 15, Eloy at 40. Do you have any black 68 Mustang seats? No, I do not. Don't have anything there, Alec. Eloy at 40. Let's get this thing on the timer. Eloy at 40. This is a good looking piece. Oh, got to give you a size. I forgot to give you a size. 2.5. About 2.5 inch button. It is flat. I mean, it's domed here, but it's flat across the back. So, I mean, you could mount it somewhere if you wanted. Kind of do you can do a lot of cool stuff with some of these ornaments and emblems. And 1 minute has passed. Eloy at 40. And 1:20 has passed. Minute 30 is gone. We're down to the last 30 seconds. Mark at 41. Michael at 45. 10 seconds left. Michael at 45. Eloy at 46. Pete at 47 at the last second. Holy cow, that was, once again, that was like at 2-0, 159 going to 2 is when Pete snuck that in. Pete, if you blink, you're going to miss out on these. But you barely knocked Eloy out of that one. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a cap, but it's going to be a little bit different, one we haven't done in the past. And I'm even going to show you something out of the magazine to start off with. Anybody see this 3-bar flipper? Can everybody see the little 3-bar flipper in the Honest Charlie ad? Obviously, we've seen these in every Honest Charlie ad, every J.C. Whitney ad from late 50s, early 60s. Everything in that era had those 3-bar flippers. You could actually even just buy the bars too and add them to your hubcaps if you couldn't swing the whole cap. Because how much were those caps? $28.95 for a set of 4 caps. You got to remember, most guys that were pumping gas were making 75 cents or $1 an hour. So $30 for a set of caps was almost a full week's wages. So you got to kind of bear that in mind and put it into perspective of how big a deal those were. Now, when we look at the J.C. Whitney ad this month, you could even just order the flipper. So what we're going to do tonight next, as far as hubcaps goes, is we're going to sell you one. And now this one's rough. But what's cool about it, and you can still buy these today. They still crank these things out in China and ship them over here by the boatload. This is based on the 56 Olds flipper is what it's based off of. It's got surface rust, it's got dents, it's got dings, but it's an original from probably the early 60s. Aftermarket cap. You can tell by the clips. Obviously, the Oldsmobile would have had an actual globe here instead of a star. So this is kind of different. It's not nice. It's not something you're going to put on a show car and drive around. You buy a new set from China for $100-$150 or whatever. What's cool about this cap is this was on somebody's custom back in the 60s. This is the one you hang on the wall and you think about the stories, because this one was there. Not the new ones you buy today from China, but this one was there. So it is a 14-inch cap the way it looks. So it would be good on a rat rod. Yes, that's right. So is anybody interested in the bigger caps versus the smaller caps? Still got tons of smaller caps. If you guys aren't as excited about this, I just thought it was kind of different because this one was there. This one was there. This one was from 60 years ago that was rolling around on somebody's car, flipping in the wind and styling and profiling. So Alec at 15. So Alec's going to start us off at 15 on it, which is probably about what's going to cost to ship it. So we'll go ahead and roll with it. Alec at 15. All right. Alec at 15, so we've got the shipping covered on it, so we'll see what happens. Solid. No, they're just stamped 10. So that's just a stamped 10 piece on there as well. Alec at 15. And there's the 1 minute. 1 minute's passed. Yeah, it is a neat looking cap. Like I said, I know these aren't expensive or valuable, but this was there. This is an old school one. This is the one you can hang on the wall and think about, yep, that cap was there. Minute 20 has passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. Everybody's going to just let Alex have this one. Let Alec have it. Super at 20. Kellerman Memorial at 20. $10. Colorado Memorial at 25 at the last second. Colorado Memorial snuck that in right at the very end. I would have to look up the details, but that's the same Buick Crest they used for years, just a different format of it. So that is just that's the same Buick Crest that they used on all these Buick badges that we've looked at over time, just a different layout with the same symbolism. How about another cool license plate? This is a great plate. I really dig this one. I think you guys will as well. Hudson badge. We're going to back it up a few years now on license plates on a 1940 Kansas. This was a basic black and white plate, black background, white letters. Has some light surface rust on the paint, but this plate is good and solid. All the edges are here. Back of it looks good. This is all original paint on this plate. Kenny started us off at 10. 58-494. Alec at 25 on Facebook. I got Kenny at 10, Jeff at 10, Mark at 20, Leo at 20, but I've got Alec at 25 over here on Facebook. This is 12 3/8 by 5 3/4. So just slightly difference on the dimensions versus our normal 12 by 6. This is all just surface rust in the paint. It's not into the metal. Black background, white letters, Kansas, 1940. Alex at 35 on the 40 plate. Let's get things boogieing here. Leo at 40. Alec at 45. Yeah, the apostrophe is kind of cool. The way they just put it right there in front of the 40. Yeah, normal would be firing off. We've hit the 1 minute mark, so you guys still got a chance. Alec at 45. This is a good plate, though. So even without Norma being here, there still may be some snipers on this one because this is a pretty good plate. 1940, it's 83 years old, and it still looks this good. Michael at 46. Kenny at 46. There's a minute 30 mark. I had Michael at 46 first. Michael at 46. Alex at 50. 10 seconds left. Alex at 50. And that does it. Oh, Eloy came back at 51, 2 seconds too late. We had Alex at 50. Who wants to do a promo model? Like I told you guys last week, I picked up a few newer promos. Well, I say newer, they're 30 to 35 years old now. But they're not high dollar ones, but they're great pieces. This is the 1991 Corvette promo. This is new in the box. Arctic white. Still has the tag on it. Probably doesn't look like it's ever even been out of the box. So, great looking piece. Like I said, these aren't, they're again, not super high dollar pieces, but they're great collectibles. Obviously, I've got tons of this stuff. So, the 1991 Corvette promo in the box, still in the Ertl box. And let's roll on it. It does have the 91 plate on the back. Bottom is just like a typical promo, just kind of a stamp or molded piece of plastic, nothing too big a deal. Mark at 25 is starting us off. Like I said, it's all original. Nothing's been monkeyed with. Still has the paper in here. So, not really much to say about it because it's still pretty clean. So, there is no roof piece in here. Jess has got to sign off. She's got to get to work. So, I've got Mark at 25. It is kind of a ghost white paint job. Yep. Everything is white. Do they make both convertible and removable roof on all C4s? The convertible didn't come back till 86. 84, 85 was just was a removable roof panel. 86 is when you could get back to an actual true roadster or a car with a removable target top, either or. 1 minute has passed. Mark at 25. Minute 20 has passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. $20 seconds left to go. $10. And that does it. Marked it for 25. Mark the mark for 25. All right, got her tucked back away in its box. All right, one thing we haven't done yet tonight, we definitely need to squeeze one of these in. We always try to do at least one. An old school badge, an old school enamel badge. We all love these things. Always try to get at least one, if not two of them in a week. So I want to squeeze one of those in before we forget it. I'm going to give you a Hudson badge. Think about it, as well as an Auburn badge. So, but this little badge here does have some chipping and things like that. It's about 1 inch and 5/8 in diameter. From the same window as the Nash badge earlier, 1926 to 1928. However, this was an Overland Whippet from the Willys Overland Company. Now, we do have some chipping up here. This should still be red up here. The Overland, the blue and the Overland still looks good. A few small chips in the Whippet on the white. And we've got some chipping in our red down here. Fairly flat mount. Tweedledee at 25. It is stud mount. It had a nut on the back. I marked this 1926 to 1928. On the Overland Whippet radiator grill shell badge. Leo at 40. I love these things. I know you guys love these things. They're great pieces. Let's get this one started on the timer since we've already seen it. I've got Leo at 40. (1926 to 1928). Kenny, is when they made this one. One minute has passed. Coming up on the minute 10 point. There we go. Leo at 40. And there's the minute 20 mark. Minute 30's passed. We're past the minute 30 mark. Leo at 40. $20 seconds left. Just about done. Eloy at 45. And that does it. Eloy at 45. Highlander's got to jump off. Glad you made it tonight for a while, Highlander. Alex came in at 45, just a little bit too late, but when we hit that 200, I had Eloy at 45. We haven't done a can in a while. We need to do another one of these metal cans. We got some. These are some great metal cans we've got coming up. This one's also had the top cut out, but great graphics. I love these things. Bright colors, bright red and blue against a white background. Has the ripple body on the can like a coffee can. We can still see the steel seam on this Skelly Tagoline certified. Money back guarantee. Tagoline on this side as well. All the way around the bottom of all these Skelly cans, we see the oil derricks. Top has been cut out. Steel Ponies Jeff at 10. Bottom intact. Exceeds car manufacturer's test sequences. Standard 1 quart can, but really good looking can. Bright colors. Just got the top cut out. Good looking can. Leo at 15. Let's go ahead and get it started on the timer. Let me make some notes here. Steel Ponies Jeff at 16. Mark at 17. Yep, send it to Greta. Yep. Leo at 18. Good looking can. One minute has passed. Leo at 18. And there's the minute 20 mark. Michael at 20. I've got Michael at 20. And there's the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left. $20 seconds left to go. $10. Pete at 21, right at the end. Pete at 21, barely slid. Pete's cutting these things extremely close. Oh, okay. What else we got to do here? Oh, let's get another horn button in. Jeff's got to jump off. Glad you were here for a while tonight. Let's catch one more of these horn buttons. that we got from John at the swap meet, and then we'll save the last one for next week. This is a great one too. This has awesome colors, and it's a little bit different than our typical Chevy or Ford stuff. This one's Cadillac. I don't know what year, but it's a good looking horn button. Check this baby out. Nope, no international stuff tonight. Check this thing out. This thing's cool. Plastic center. This is a chromed metal ring that holds it. Obviously got the Cadillac crest in it. Nice clear plastic. Mark started us off at 15. About 1 3/4 inches in diameter. Alec at 15 here too, but I've got Mark at 15 already on YouTube. Early 60s, I'm guessing. Not sure on the year since this came out of the box of horn buttons. Super cool horn buttons that John had at the Wichita swap meet. So let's go ahead and roll with it. Mark at 15 is who we've got to start us off with. And we are live. Alec at 18. Mark at 20. Mark and Alec might duke this one out for a while. Well, they've got 1 minute to decide what they want to do. Mark at 20. And there's the minute 20 mark. Kenny at 21. Alec at 23. Michael at 22, but I've got Alec at 23. Mark at 24. We're just past the minute 30 mark. Too many bids coming in. I missed the minute 30 mark. Mark at 24. Michael at 26. Ten seconds left. Michael at 26. Mark at 27. And that does it. Mark at 27. Alec came back at 30, just 2 seconds too late. Mark at 27 is who I had on my screen at the 2 minute mark. Been a rough night again on Alec tonight. Eloy at 30, a little too late. All right, let's catch a few more things, then we'll get into the magazine. What the heck? This is cool. You guys are going to dig this. Another cap, smaller cap. Give you a Hudson badge to think about it, though, for a minute here. This is a good-looking little cap. I think this is 40s. I know you guys are going to dig this. It's stainless, but it is an earlier one on the Mercury 8. Check this out. Now, these are my caps. She needs to get some more ready. She needs to get another batch of them ready to go, but these are mine. I think this is late 40s Mercury cap. It is about 9 3/4 in outside dimensions. This is embossed, that's stamped in it. It's got this ridge around it out here. Tony's still waiting to sell Heather. If we sell Heather, we won't have a mascot to keep a watch over us. So the Mercury 8 cap, like I said, not sure on the exact year, but I think it's late 40s. But good looking piece, stainless steel. You could repaint the Mercury in this if you wanted it to pop a little more and polish it a little bit with that stainless. and it would really pop and really look great. So anyway, Addie's on with us. So on the Mercury 8 cap. Yeah, appreciate you guys reporting that. So glad you guys got my back on that, and help keep an eye on that stuff for me, and report those people that are in here trying to stir things up. So market 20 on the Mercury 8 cap. Alex at 30. Alec at 12 over here, but I've already got Alex at 30, Kenny at 22. Alex at 30 on Facebook. As we come up on the 1 minute mark, I've got Alex at 30. And there's the 1 minute mark. Minute 20 is passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. Alex at 30. $20 seconds left. Coming down to the wire on this, Alex at 30. And that does it. Mark came back at 32, just 2 seconds too late. So we'll mark that one to Alex at 30. Mark cut that one just that much too late. Get Alex's box filled up. So when are you coming out, Alex? If you figured out what date you wanted to try to come yet? Got Alex's Packard dug out, so you're getting ready to come get his Packard. Another badge. I'll do what's on the desk here. A plate, a badge, and a small cap. So this badge here is 40s era Dodge. We've done something similar to this in the past. They use these from like 41 to 48 different ones. I don't know exactly what dimensions they were, but they use this badge that looked and maybe they were all the same from 41 to 48 with this peak on the top and the bottom. This is an enamel badge. Black background, blue up here at the top with red in here. We've got some chipping in the red here with all this gold inlay on the metal part of it. Obviously, we can see where it's cast into it here. Stud mount, one single stud with a nut on the back of it. Alec at 15 starting us off. It is 3 inches by about 1 3/8 inches. So it's about 3 inches tall. I've got Alec at 15, Mark at 20. We are on the timer. I did just kick it on. Michael at 16. I've got Mark at 20 on YouTube. Michael at 22. Kenny got one of these. I knew we'd won one or two of these over the past year or so, but I come up with this one, so thought we'd throw it out there. And Kenny did get one in the past. So Michael at 22 as we pass the 1 minute point. There's the minute 20 mark. Michael at 22. Alex at 25. We've hit 1 minute 30. We've got 30 seconds left. Alex at 25. Super cheap for a badge like this. This isn't an enamel badge, so it's pretty cool with deep colors. Alex at 25. Mark at 26. 20 seconds left to go. Michael at 26. I had Mark at 26 here first. I've got Mark at 26. Michael, if you want to come back. We got a little bit of time left, but we're getting down to the wire. Michael at 29. I've got Michael at 29. Just about done with this one. And that did it. Michael at 29. Michael even threw 35 in there to try to cover himself. Fortunately, it was too late. But Alec had a 35 in there as well. Eloy had a 29 in there. I had Michael at 29 when we hit the 2 minute mark. All the rest of that stuff came in after the fact. Couple more pieces. Then we're going to get on to the magazine. Another one of these license plates in a bag, although it's not the correct bag. This bag is for a 1970 truck plate. But inside is the plate that replaced, I'm guessing, because it's a 1969 that I assume has probably been in this bag since 1970 when it was taken off and replaced. You can see you can literally, it is like a mirror. I mean, that's the original paint. The back is good paint-wise. It's got a slight curve to it, like they tweaked the top edge of it. I don't know, must have been the way they had to mount it on whatever truck this was on. 4-digit 1137. It does have the farm sticker on it. But a great looking plate. Yeah, we think Norma's in Branson tonight, so you guys all got a shot at getting plates. But great looking tag, 1969 original. Eloy at 55. Eloy's not messing around on this one. Mark at 20, Leo at 40, but we had Eloy at 55 to start us off. We're going to get the timer kicked on this one and get rolling. We're doing this in one more piece, and then we're going to be into the magazine. Eloy at 55. Good looking color on this thing. Like I said, I think it was put in here. The envelope says 51 Chevy. So this must have been like a 51 Chevy farm truck. And when they changed the plates, they switched it out. Leo at 56. Let's see if we can do this trick like we did on the 64 plate a while back. Where's my phone at? Yep. See the timer between the one and the truck? Eloy at 60. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, as you guys can see it right here. There's our 1 minute mark. We watched it in the reflection on the plate. Eloy at 60. Leo at 61. Minute 20 has passed. Eloy at 65. Michael at 63. Eloy just covered you up with 65. As we hit the minute 30 mark, Eloy at 65. Colorado Memorial at 69. $20 seconds left. Colorado Memorial at 69. Coming down to the wire the last few seconds. Colorado Memorial at 69. And that does it. Colorado Memorial at 69. All right. I'll put that back in the envelope. I got to put it back in its home. I don't want it to be lost from its home after 50-some years. All right, one more piece. This is a cool little piece. I dig this. It's neat. I think you guys are going to like it as well. We're going to give you a Hudson badge, and then we're going to show you the piece. I'm going to get a drink. This is one of the another little aluminum grease caps. But this one's kind of different. This one's for the Maxwell. These are the small aluminum grease caps common in the teens and 20s. Literally went right over the hub and held the grease in for the wheel bearings. These are internally threaded. You can see the threads in it. This one does have some dings and dents, but there again, it's 100 years old. So I guess I don't know what to expect, you know. But it is a great little piece. These little caps are great to hang up in the shop. There again, people are going to come in and, well, what the heck is a Maxwell? Well, there's a grease cap for one. This one is 2 7/8 by about 1 3/4 inches. It's about 2 7/8 inches in diameter. It's about 1 3/4 inches tall. The Maxwell is actually cast into it. Those letters are cast straight into there. We got Michael at 15, Brian at 15, Steel Ponies Jeff at 15, and Mark at 22. So Mark at 22, Steel Ponies Jeff at 25. Addie is on. Just made me think of Happy Gilmore. I don't remember what I said to make her think of Happy Gilmore, but but as I've got Mark at 30 on the cool little Maxwell cap. Last piece for tonight. Oh, home. On the little Maxwell grease cap. Mark at 30. That's right. Happy Gilmore. The hole is your home ball when he's telling the golf ball to go in the hole. Happy Gilmore is actually a pretty funny movie, so that is pretty good. Probably not quite as good as this, but still pretty good. Alex at 40. Eloy at 35. I've got Alex at 40. 1 minute has passed. We're down to the last minute on the last item. Eloy at 50. $120 has passed. Eloy at 50. And 1:30 is gone. We're down to the last 30 seconds on the last piece. Ten seconds left. Eloy at 50. Eloy went 55 to cover himself, and he did it. Pete came in at 51. Eloy was already in at 55. I don't know if he saw Pete's bid before they got to me or what, but Eloy threw that 55 out there at about 156. Pete came in at 51 at about 158. So I don't know if Eloy saw that pop up or if Eloy was just trying to cover himself, but he got it done at 55. All right, great time again tonight, guys. Super appreciate your participation in the auctions and all the fun we have with them. Obviously, got a great, awesome stuff, a great batch of awesome stuff going to be headed out to you guys this week to add to your collection. So I'm going to put my notepad away for the time being, but not going to put it away for long. Just going to put it away long enough to do the auction because we have to do the raffle here shortly. And I use this to keep notes on that as well. So, all right, awesome time tonight. Thanks to everybody for playing along and excited for all of our winners tonight. Tonight's magazine. Is one of the mini mags from the viewer box from a while back. Well, hello, Gray Kitty. Come here. You want to come say hi? Come here. Come here, Gray Kitty. I got too many auction boxes piled in her way. Come here. You want to come say hi? Come here. Come say hi. Oh, okay. All right. Say hi to everybody. Over here. No, don't head bump me. Look, over here. Yes, you want to head bump me. You want to head bump me. Here. Say hi to everybody. There you go. Say hi. Yes, turn around here. Yes, say hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Gray Kitty. I'm holding you to keep you off the keyboards, dum-dum. Yes. You don't know what's going on. All right. You don't like this, though. See, Michael's even waving at you. Everybody's saying hi to you. You're even purring. Joe's Classic says, Ivy's in bed, Miss Gray Kitty. Well, she's been saying, everybody see Alex saying hi. Joe says hi. Shopcat says hi. Everybody's saying hi to Gray Kiki. Yes, because you're a dumb butt. Oh, yes, hi. Yes. Where's Chunky Butt at? Oh, she's over on the other chair. All right. We got to get to the magazine. Are you going to read the magazine with us? No, you just soon go, wouldn't you? All right, here you go. All right, back to getting started in the mini bag. Oh, Leo was going to try to buy you for $10. Are you worth $10? It's debatable. No, you just stepped on the mouse. No, you're stepping on the keyboard. You can't do that. But tonight's magazine, one of the mini mags out of the viewer box from a few weeks back, the November 1958 issue of Rod and Custom with a cover price of 25 cents. Like a lot of these magazines, this is pretty much all you got for color back then, was the cover. Some good looking stuff on it though, the Ford pickup, and not sure what the convertible is. It's in there. We'll have to look it up and see. Need a nap. I need a lap blanket so she can cuddle up while we reread. Yeah. Yep, she's jumping down now. In this issue of Rod and Custom in November 1958, one of the first articles, this was kind of interesting. The Prince and the Paupers. It was about a car show in California, but one of the highlighted cars, obviously there were typical customs and rods, but one of the highlighted cars is a little outside the box for Rod and Custom. Right there. Not something we typically see when we pop open these mini mags of Rod and Custom. It actually, and the reason it's in here is he was hanging out at the car shows and showing this car with some of the other rodders in the area. It is a 250 GT Ferrari, about a 58, pretty much a new one. And it was kind of funny because it had a little blurb in here about it. It actually was a prince's car. A Prince Kovet from Thailand, who was in the country attending school in Santa Barbara, California, uses the 250 GT Ferrari convertible for school transportation and to keep appointments around town. It's very similar. That was a 250 GT SWB and Ferris Bueller's. Well, it was supposed to be. This would have been like the precursor to that car. So, but it said in here that it was they called it the $14,000 car, the $14,000 Ferrari, which today that car is like $5 million plus. So, but it was kind of cool because it talked about just literally this guy was out there. The article is called Prince and the Paupers with his Ferrari amongst all these rods and customs at this car show. And some more cool shots of the show. Another article with some cool pictures about the Carrera Panamericana, a Mexican road racing event. Didn't get into all the text in this thing, but there's a lot of cool pictures. We've all heard of this. The Panamericana, the Mexican road race deal down through Mexico. But check out some of the action shots they have in here. All with the Panamericana race. The next article we're going to get to, Consistency Plus. This is a cool looking little roadster. And there again, not a ton of information on a lot of these vehicles. So the magazine's called Rods and Custom. That Ferrari's one custom grocery getter. Yeah, it definitely is that. And I would imagine they probably included it because it was so far out of the box to see something like that at that point, I'm guessing. I don't know. But the next car we're going to look at is pretty much what we'd expect to see in Rod and Custom. This roadster, that a 29 bodied roadster packing Olds power. And it's pretty cool because it's got some specs on the engines. So that's what's kind of neat. The 50 Olds, which would have been a 303, hogged out to 385 inches. So I'm sure they had to stroke it too. Crowler log manifold, 6 Strombergs, Lincoln transmission, Schleifer flywheel, and unlocked Halibran quick change rear end on this super cool little Olds powered roadster. The next several pages that we're going to cover is actually pretty cool. This month, the Rod and Custom hat is off to car clubs. And it has kind of a generic picture of the clubs. But the next several pages are actually club members' cars from the Long Beach, California club called the Cutouts. I thought this was pretty cool. It shows their plaque that they had. Of course, the cast aluminum plaque that most of these clubs had back in the day shows the members with their cars and their club jackets and their trophies that they've all won. Not anything like intact, like an old school rod that was still intact. One of the coolest things that we've dug out, actually, we found it flipped upside down on its roof up in Nebraska along a creek. Gosh, it's been 15, 16, 17 years ago. And I've got some pictures of it. And if you guys want to see them, I can find them. I know they're around here because I had them out several months ago. But back in probably in the 60s, maybe early 70s, they were shoved cars in or along the riverbanks to stop erosion. Well, Dad got into a deal up in Nebraska, and everyone wants to get the pictures out. Okay. And but this guy would never sell anything. There was all kinds of stuff along this river. Some of it had been pushed in, but a lot of it had never been shoved in. A lot of it got drug out there and lined up along the riverbank, but never got shoved in and was sitting in the trees. And he had a couple different spots. Well, we went to one spot, and Dad had got a bunch of stuff out of there. We went to another spot of the river, another part of the pasture, and there was about 8 or 10 cars in there, all flipped upside down. Reason being, they would buy them for scrap, and if they didn't have tires and wheels and they were all flat, they literally flipped them over on their roof and drug them to the pasture upside down because they were just going to shove them into the river anyway. And we were walking up into this one pasture, and the first car we seen was a Ford Coupe, and it ended up being a 42 Ford Coupe. Dad's like, almost thought, at first glance, I almost thought that was a 40 Ford Coupe. We walked around the other side of this group of cars and said, no, but this one over here is. And sure as world, there was a 40 Deluxe Coupe that had been flipped over and sitting there on its roof. So we ended up buying it, obviously, as well as the 42 Coupe, and there was a 50 Chevy convertible in there, a few other ones, and we actually drug the cars out of there. And I apparently not. Apparently, Addie says I thought we already covered this, but apparently not. And I've got the pictures. But when we flipped this 40 Deluxe Coupe over and loaded it up, it looked there were some things about it that were pretty weird. The dash had a bunch of hand-painted stuff on it, like some spider webs painted in the corner of the dash, hot rod type stuff. There was a air shock port on the left rear quarter, like where the roof line comes down. There's a little air shock port sticking out. And Pete says, no, we haven't gotten it yet. I got the pictures. I don't know where they're at. They're not too far. So we've got this custom hot rod stenciling on it. We've got a port for air shocks, which was weird. There was no chassis left under this body. The trunk floor had been cut out. Nice big rectangle had been cut out of the trunk of this 40 Deluxe Coupe body. I mean, it wasn't just chopped out. I mean, it was symmetrical. It was done by design for a reason. So all we can figure is it was old Shine Runner. Because, I mean, it had a setup for a tank. It had a port for air shocks. So obviously no way to prove that. But I've got pictures of that car somewhere. I'll do some digging for next week. That was one of the coolest things. But as far as like opening up a garage and finding an old school hot rod and pulling it out, haven't really found anything super cool intact. But that Shine Runner was pretty cool. So I'll dig that stuff out. I'll do some more thinking about some other stuff that we found that's kind of interesting. But that was kind of neat. So back to the magazine, kind of got sidetracked there. But some more shots of the cutouts. No, Dad sold that car. It sold pretty quick, obviously. He got a frame for it, a 40 Ford frame to go under it, and then sold it as a project. But the Cutouts Clubhouse. Yeah, we'll have to have story time with Chad, I guess. Good idea, Ed. I've got tons of pictures we can do that with, too. Cars that we bought over the years, all the stuff that Dad had and went through. Now, into some of the Cutouts rides. Now, we got to remember, this is 1958, November of 1958. Okay? And we're getting into the members' cars. Let's check this out right here. First car on there, 58 Buick that's been customized. Pinstripes, lake pipes. And this is 58. 54 convertible, about a 56 Dodge. What other cars were club members driving? Studebaker, 57 Ford, 57 Buick. Remember, these are all club members' cars from the Cutouts from Long Beach. '56 Chevy, 54 Mercury, 55 Chevy. And that's the end of the member cars for the Cutouts. Now, the next article, with the next page we checked that we're going to flip to, I thought this was really cool, very interesting. We're going to touch on some of it, but no way we'd have time to get into all of it. The article is entitled, What It Takes to Win. How many points does your car rate? So when they went to car shows back in the 50s, this is what they were working with. It gives us a judging list, and it gives us points over here. So I'm going to read some of these off to you because it's pretty small print about what they looked for and what they would give you extra points for. Kenny's already liking digging the mag. Some stuff was not as big a deal. Nathan's Mopar Garage is digging it. Nosed is only good for 1 point. Hood alteration is 2 points. Decked is 1 point. Door handles is 1 point. If you change your headlights, could be up to 6 points. French your headlights, 4 points. Taillight change, 6 points. Taillight French, 4 points. Grill mod, if you redid the whole nose, up to 10 points. Grill change. Complete grill change, where you basically completely redid the entire grill opening with a new grill, up to 15 points. Chop top, 20 points, because chop top is an insane amount of work. So this is the things that they looked for. Engine, is it clean? 5 points. Painted, 10 points. Chrome, 10 points. Engine swap, 10 points. Multiple carbs, 7 points. So all kinds of cool stuff they were looking for and how they were judging cars back in the 50s. Here's the convertible from the cover. Concours convertible. New from the shop of master metal man Joe Ballion. The cover car was actually a 1953 Oldsmobile 98 is what it started life as. And more on the inside. And you got to remember, this is 1958. This was a 53. It's like going to getting a 2018 and doing this to it now. Is it a Carson top? I don't know if it says. We'll see what it says. It looks like it's it's probably not, because it says this car was a factory convertible when they started. Does not say it is a Carson top. It says it is chopped, so I'm assuming that means that they chopped the factory convertible tops. So smell the Lucky Strikes from here. Yeah, when they were doing that kind of mods, yeah, absolutely. Yep, a torch on the lead and a cigarette out of their mouth, hanging out of their mouth. The next article, the Missouri Masterpiece. One thing that was really great about this frantic 40 Ford truck from the Show Me State, is where they took the first picture. That's right, Kenny, and Wild Turkey. Yeah, that's right. You know, no mask, torch over lead. Just got done spraying primer over here with a bottle of Wild Turkey and a Lucky Strike out of their hand on the mouth. They didn't care. But what was so great about this is where they took the first picture for this 40 Ford pickup. Just remember, this is 1958, and check out this sign right in front of the old school Holiday Inn. Lucky Strike is mighty fine tobacco. Don't know much about Lucky Strikes. Well, take your word for it, number one. All kinds of cool custom touches on this 40 Ford pickup, including the 1954 Buick headlights and the 1949-50 Mercury taillights. Speaking of Wild Turkey, good point. The next article is really cool, too. Give up if you've been challenged by Henrietta. Yep, Henrietta. Old school Henry J. Gasser packing a small block Chevy under the hood. No, and what's great about it's funny about this, what's the tailgate say on that Ford pickup? We'll look at that real quick. Farner's Customs. Let's check out Henrietta. Small block Chevy, radius rear wheel wells, cheater slicks on the super cool Henry J. Now, what's also funny about this article is look at this bottom picture where they're trailering it. Look at the trailer. Today, everybody's got enclosed. Some people have semis, stackers, toters. And that's barely enough trailer for a Henry J. And a Henry J is not a very big car. At least it was dual. At least it was tandem axle. They did have two axles under it. So I don't know if it said exactly where that truck was from in Missouri. It said some of the work was done in Kansas City. So Independence, Missouri. So there's Henrietta. And that's another good point, number one. Those guys were rich or they had access to stuff because a lot of people were flat towing stuff back then. And you're 100% right. One more article we're going to catch, then we're going to get into some ads, and then we're going to give away this sign. The Chuggin' Juggers. This little digger kind of put things into a whole different outlook. The way it was set up. This 1,380-pound car features power-producing equipment by Herbert, Crower, and Centello. Behind the 303, it's not a 303 because it's supposed to be a 303. The 383 Olds, so it's a board and stroke 303, is a Cadillac transmission, 46 Ford rear. But one thing about this dragster is look at the design on this thing. And look at the cockpit. You basically laid down in this thing to drive it, literally. Sunk the driver down as far as they could to keep it low and sleek and narrow. And one interesting thing about it, I want to see how I'm going to read it to you to see how they put it, just to kind of really get, so you guys can get the perspective. The driver reclines with his head no higher than the carburetor's tops. Okay? So he's sitting down there that you're basically looking at right across the carb stacks. Line of sight is actually between the 2 rows of the 6 carbs. So we see the dude in here in the car. His line of sight is right through here. That's how he's watching the truck or the track. The original deathbed, yeah. Yeah. That's how he's watching the track. Yeah, but his feet would have been right there, so you're not too far off, number one. On the Chugging Juggers. That pretty much catches it for the articles tonight. Now let's go back and check out some ads. Give us some badges here. X-Ray wants to give it a shot. That's true, Kenny. Definitely a safety third type situation there. As we start back at the beginning of the magazine, where the front wheel's Halibrands, I don't think it even said. They look like they're a steel type wheel. It does not say. But they look like they're just a basic steel wheel from the picture. You can't really see much, but they kind of look like they were just some sort of a steel wheel. But going back to the front of the magazine, the first ad we're going to check out is subscriptions. If you want to subscribe to Rod and Custom, it's true if you subscribe now that you can get 12 months for $3, 24 months for $5. If you want to subscribe to Rod and Custom in 1958 for the 1959 year. Skip up a couple of pages to the J.C. Whitney ad. And the J.C. Whitney ad, they kind of did it a little bit different than typically. You got to turn the magazine to get the full effect now on the J.C. Whitney ad. In this, typically they're in these mini mags, but we had to flip it sideways this time to get the full effect of this ad. Obviously, the 3-bar flippers like we looked at earlier. Cruiser skirts, all the mainstays for the custom world in that era. Flag emblems, just like an Impala would have had. In some mechanical stuff, head gaskets, full moon wheel discs, mufflers, all kinds of cool stuff in J.C. Whitney for this month. Give everybody a few seconds to check that out. That's right. Didn't fit in the textbook that way. That's a good point. Now, that's how you got busted in class, turning it to not paying attention. Oh, what's that? Uh-oh, busted. Most of those moon discs were like a regular cap. They just had outside clips on them, typically, is how most of them mounted. And that's it for the front of the magazine. We're going to flip to the back of the magazine because most of the ads in these mini mags are towards the back. Yep, you can order a free catalog. In fact, at the back, they've got another ad just for that where you can get your free J.C. Whitney catalog. Mail this coupon now. Joe's Classic got a 55 F100 that had them, but they were screwed on. X-rays screwed on with screws as well. Several different ads, lots of tiny ads in here. The problem is some of these ads are kind of tough to even see, but this next page has 3 ads that are a third of the page apiece, and you can check them out. One thing that was a big deal in this time period, because there's a lot of them in this magazine, were go-karts. This page here has go-karts. It has Midwest Direct Factory Distributors, And it also has Join Today Customs of America, officially Barris sanctioned Club of Customs of America, open to men and women, no card necessary, no age limit, membership only $3 a year. Let's check out all this cool stuff. There's a whole lot of cool on this one page. Obviously, carts, like I said, there's a lot of carts in these magazines. We've talked about them before. Midwest Specialties, what do they have on sale? Customized without a torch, restyle, remodel, restore, and repair. Order the 1958 catalog. So this is basically for their catalog. And then the Customs of America, a car club that was Barris sanctioned that you could join. The next page, the ad we looked at just a little bit ago when we were talking about wheel covers, the Honest Charlie Speed Shop ad. They did a full page in here as well. Chrome tape, color chrome, heat-resistant engine enamel, lowering blocks, universal electric trunk latch kit, electric door latch kit, pinstriping, wheel covers, wolf whistle, all kinds of cool stuff, even a chattering Charlie skull. The next page, once again, like we talked about, club plaques as well as Barris custom products. Barris actually, by 1958, had their own line of products, detail products. Obviously here, order your club plaques. And down here, the Barris custom products. Now, club plaques are pretty self-explanatory. You can send them their design. They could cast you one. The Barris products, beauty and protect your car. You could order finish glaze for $2. Specialized glaze cleaner for $2. Chrome polish for $1.45. Leather cleaner for $1.45. White wall cleaner for $1.45. Or set of all 5 car care products for $7.50. So Barris was trying to cover all aspects of the game, even in 1958. Big Job just used to call J.C. Whitney in the 70s. They had a magazine they worked out of. Yep, I've got some of those too. I keep thinking we need to get one of those out from that era and check them out. And that gets us to the back cover, where once again, this is a really big ad, a full color, or not full color, a 2-color, full page back cover ad for, once again, go-karts. From literally the go-kart manufacturing company. Yep, great deal, all for $7. Put some blue in here in the ad. Literally, it is called the Go-Kart Manufacturing Company. Go-karts were apparently all the rage because all these old magazines from the late 50s, early 60s cover a lot of them. So we definitely don't want to ignore them. I don't want to spend all the time on go-karts, but we don't want to ignore them either because they were part of the hot rodding scene back in the day. So that pretty much wraps up the November 1958 issue of Rod and Custom. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This one is out of the viewer box from a month or so ago. Got a few more of these to go. We'll probably mix something different in next week as we kind of shake things up a bit on so we're not doing the exact, basically the same thing and same ads every week. But we'll mix something up with another magazine next week and probably do a full-size magazine that's taking 2 weeks to do. But these are always fun. I know you guys have a lot of fun with them. Number one, they're part of the hot rodding scene again today, and mini bikes. Yeah, and I know mini bikes are hot too. So there it is, the November 1958 issue of Rod and Custom with a cover price of 25 cents. Glad you guys are liking it. Lots of good comments about the magazine tonight. Appreciate the support on that too. And with that, that brings us to the raffle. Mark already beat me to it. Mark says, it's raffle time. All right. We're going to give away this original 60s era porcelain mobile pump plate. We've also got the super cool old Oldsmobile hubcap that Rico and Jess donated for the raffle this month with the Olds crest stamped in here. Late 40s era. Definitely not a real common one because I didn't use this crest for a long time. Good looking cap. And we've also got this 1974 3-digit Kansas plate. So, like we always do, first person has their first pick. I assume it's probably going to be that. Second person has their second pick. Kenny and Mark are in it to win it this month, and a lot of you guys are as well. Who is in as of right now that just got in this week? This week, X-Ray Dean, Tweely D, Mark Falcon, Steel Ponies Jeff. I got your check yesterday, so your stuff didn't ship yet, Jeff, but you did. I did get you in the raffle. Big Job and Kenny Peterson all got in this week. So that wraps up all of the entries into the raffle this month for the mobile regular pump plate. All those names are in the big Buick oil can currently as of right now. Show them to you right there. I'm sure you can see a lot of familiar names in there. And are we ready? We're ready to give away the mobile porcelain pump plate tonight. Get my notes ready here. And here we go. Round and around the Buick can goes. You see all those names in there flopping around. And let's do it. Well, it's probably going to be tough for Joe's Classics to win if he didn't buy a ticket, that's for sure. I have one. I've got one. What's it say? Kenny Peterson. Whoa. I told you Mark and Kenny were in it to win. Well, Kenny did. And I assume you want the sign, Kenny. So, who's next? Kenny hasn't confirmed yet. Yeah, I figured you were taking the sign. All right. Kenny is out. 2 more names coming out. If we pull Kenny's name again, which is very possible, we'll draw again. Whoa. Michael Glagola. So, Michael, what do you want, the cap or the plate? They're kind of equal prizes. They're both pretty cool pieces, so we'll see what Michael chooses. Yeah, Joe just says if we pull Kenny's name again, he'll take it. I think that means the plate. I think that's what Michael was trying to type, but something went haywire on that deal. So I'm assuming Michael's saying the plate. There's an L and a P and some other stuff in there, and I'm not really sure what happened there, but yeah, okay. All right. Okay, time for the Oldsmobile cap. Kenny is out. Michael is out. If we draw either one of those names, we're drawing again for the Oldsmobile cap donated by Rico and Jess for this month's raffle. And then we're going to toy around with the next raffle as soon as we get done with this one. So, one more. Well, maybe one more. If it's not Michael or if it's not Kenny, it'll be the last one. Mark Falcon. I told you guys I guaranteed we were going to pull Kenny or Mark because both those guys were gunning for that thing this month. Hardcore. So, Mark's going to get the Olds cap. All right. There's our winners for this month's raffle. Thanks for playing, everybody. Appreciate everybody jumping in and having a good time this month. And there's our winners, Kenny, Michael, and Mark. And she's empty again. Yeah, there were a lot of names, and a lot of them were Kenny and Mark. I ain't gonna lie. There were a lot of them were Kenny and Mark. When I say those guys were swinging for the fences this month, those two guys were swinging for the fences. So, number one's already ready for the next raffle. Okay, I've got the next raffle ready. Obviously, we try to do different things and mix it up a little bit. Yeah, I wasn't 2 pounds of names in there, but Kenny's ready for his sign already. All right, we're figure out how to stack all this stuff. So I got to move some junk around here to get to the next raffle. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Joe says everybody wins getting to be involved in the show. I appreciate that, Joe. That's very kind of you to say. But I keep all records from the raffles, so I kind of look back and I looked at what we've been doing. Obviously, we've done a couple signs. We did this sign. We did another sign like last November, December. We did, of course, Randy's custom pieces. We did the mystery boxes, and so trying to look back, seeing what I thought we hadn't done in a while, something kind of different that was going to mix things up. So let me move my auction boxes, which are still full, by the way. Now, one thing that my minutes of research in the last several months of raffle revealed to me, which, like I said, I invested minutes into this project, going through all the last records, I realized that we hadn't done a toy in quite a while. Leo's got to bail off. Glad you're here, Leo. And we all like toys. We do Toy Tuesday every week. We all check out toys. We all like toys. We're always playing with toys, looking at toys, watching for toys. We're always messing with promo models. Transcon Medevac, just because it's cool to have a Transcon Medevac toy. So I thought we need to do toy. We need to do a toy. Not a Tonka. It's not a Tonka. But it's cool. It's original. I don't know if it's probably 60s. It is Structo. The Structo Cattle Company. The Structo Cattle Company tractor trailer with a COE tractor. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, we were talking about it tonight because they did it on April 1st of 79, Ed. So since we were talking about it, I found this article on Real Cannonball Run right before the show. I went and got it out. I'll put it back so we don't lose it. Don't worry, I'll put it back in the truck. This literally had not been out of the truck since me and Addie found it like 8 years ago. So, yes, the cab is chrome. It does have some, specking in the chrome. I don't know if you guys can kind of make it out. It's got such a glare on it. It's kind of got some specking to the chrome. It does still have the Structo labels on both doors. All original tires and wheels. They all say Structo on them. The bottom of it also says Structo on it. The frame isn't busted up. The axles are original. Now, on the trailer, Structo Cattle Farms, load limit 48,000 pounds. Also, all original tires and wheels. Now, on the landing gear, even number one may have to get into this one. These wheels, the centers are broken loose out of them. So they kind of slide around on the axle. But the landing gear is there. It does have a tilting rear axle for weight distribution, I guess. It is original paint, original tires and wheels. Both back doors are still intact. They opened earlier. Come on. There we go. Okay, $10 for 4. Old number one's getting serious about this project. So it's got some scuffs, some scratches. It's been played with. But it is original and Structo Cattle Company. Alec is jumping off on Facebook, saving his money for next week. Glad you made it tonight, Alec. We had a lot of fun. Even though you kept getting skunked on the auctions, I'm glad you hung out with it for tonight. I do not know if it came with cattle and livestock originally or not. That I don't know. But there it is, the Structo Cattle Company tractor trailer. But wait, there's more. Like I said, I got the second and third place prizes ready to go as well. Now, say that you want to get in because it's a cool piece. However, it's a good size piece. I mean, this thing is 21 inches, stem to stern, 21 inches. It's big. Say that truck's a little bit too big for you. Maybe you'll want to take the second place truck. How about this one? How about this Structo dump truck in red and white? Original lift gate. Bed. Hold your box till next week, Eloy. No problem. How's that one? How's that for a double shot? Now, let's say you don't have room for the big truck, but you don't like red and white because you like the Green Bay Packers. Well, then you can pick the third prize of the green and yellow dump truck. Yeah, we're going to give away 3 trucks this month. That's how off the rails this one's going to be. Now, this one has been repainted. I believe this one is original paint. This one has been repainted. This does have hydraulic cylinder in it. The other one is missing its hydraulic cylinder. This one still has the cylinder. This one, it's missing the cylinder. It's a Structo miracle. That's right, Joe. So how's that for a raffle? I told you we hadn't done toys in a while. We're going to do toys off the rails. So, yep, we're giving away 3 trucks this month. And the way it looks, the way things shake out, April 30th is a Sunday night, and I don't think I'm going to be here, so we're going to have to draw for that on the road. I'll have to take it with me. We can do that, though. It's not a problem. We may not have the big Buick oil can, but I'll find something to put them in. So we'll shoot for April 30th. And if I'm on the road that weekend, Joe, I need to find a job quick. Yeah. I may not have the big Buick. What are you doing, Chunky Butt? Come here. Come here, Chunky Butt. You want to see everybody? The other cat's wandering around here. And we can pick from there. You guys all know what they are. We'll have the pictures posted with them. Perfect, Michael. Not a problem. I'll be watching for the payment for the last week and this week. I'll put it all in the big box with the big can, and we'll get her on the way to you. Perfect, Michael. Plus your license plate. Your raffle winning. So, Extra says April is his birthday month, so we'll see how it all shakes out. But I might be out of town. If I'm out of town, hopefully got Wi-Fi long enough. And in fact, we'll probably do the drawing earlier in the episode just in case we have Wi-Fi issues while I'm on the road. But we'll shoot for April 30th on that. Something else that, when we were talking earlier, I wanted to bring this up to you guys and see if you want to do this. Just like what we just talked about a little bit ago with the Ford Coupe Shine Runner, story time. Do you guys want me to find an old picture of a car that we bought 5, 10, 20 years ago and share it with you guys? Is that something we want to incorporate? We could slide it in somewhere. It wouldn't be a real long segment. If you guys are interested in something like that, just let me know. Pete says yes. Well, duh. Yes. Okay. Like I said, that wouldn't be Mark signing off. Perfect. Glad you were here. Kenny says yes. We can do that because we get a couple pictures, talk about it. Wouldn't take a couple minutes to do it, but we can. Okay, lots of yeses. Okay, Michael, you digging it? Okay, everybody's lots of yeses on that. So I guess we need to incorporate a little story time in with stuff somewhere. PayPal username, nobody else's auto at gmail.com. Alan says yes. So, well, just to give you a quick idea, here's one book. Of stuff we've had over the years. So that's going to be pretty easy. There's pictures everywhere of stuff that we've bought over the years that we can absolutely share. So we'll maybe try to slide that in. Maybe like after the badges and emblems prior to the auction, kind of try to pencil that in because we had a lot of positive. Pete already can't wait for story time. Okay. We will pencil that in after badges and emblems already. This is just one book. Dad's got several books of these. The story about the Silent Chief can. And Addie brought up another good point. The Silent Chief can that we've got. There's short stories about a lot of that stuff. Hey, I just got my notice on the Facebook computer that I'm live on YouTube. It's only 3 hours late. Or maybe Toy Tuesday story time. That's another thing. We could work it into some Toy Tuesday. What do you guys think about that? But yeah, I mean, everything's got a story, you know. All this stuff has a little story. This sign came from the American Picker store right there. You know, that came from the Wichita Swap Meet. That came from when we visited Sun Records. The Oilsome sign I got from a good friend of mine. The Chevrolet Sports Department I got from a good buddy of mine. All that stuff. So Joe says, no, if not on Toy Tuesday, always forgets it. So if we want to work it into Sunday night, that's not a problem. I will get pictures or an item and tell the story about how we found it. So that's right. I'm going to need to get a chair with a sweater like Mr. Rogers. Addie could animate some stories as well. She's been around for the last 10 or 12 years worth of them. You know, obviously been doing this with Dad since I could walk, and Dad has been doing it since he was about 14. So that puts us back a few years on some stories and interesting things. And, you know, and like I said, there's just, you know, I've got this book here because of the F-250. And that's why I grabbed this book at Dad's when we told the story of the 78 F-250, because it's just like the 77 that we used to haul cars with. So that's why it's here. But this whole thing is full. Check that out. There's a picture of the tow truck right there. She's sitting next door now. That's when we were using her. That's sitting at the lot when we were using her. So yeah, we can definitely get into pictures of Dad's place before we moved everything out of there. Yeah, we better not get rolling on that. So, yep, we used a super van for tool van. That's why those things are sitting there side by side. It was because we used the winch truck to move cars, and we had tools in the super van. Actually, I've got that super van back too. It's pretty rough, but I bought the super van back too. It's out at the yard. And obviously I bought the winch truck back, and it's next door in the good building. We got to bring in some content on that too. So I guess we will add a new segment called Story Time. That's right. We did the super van, and I got a video on that super van too. So I guess we'll work in a new segment and try to keep things reeled in. So, but like I said, we can always manipulate the magazine if we've got to split it up a little bit more on time, things like that. So we can always work through things to try to keep time managed, because we're already getting way over on time tonight. But anyway, a few more things. We'll wrap this deal up. New inventory this week. The only car that came in, 1971 Cutlass two-door hardtop. I did pick that up Monday. And Addie can't. Interpretive dance with Addie says she can't dance. So, and about a pickup load of new old stock. Mainly, believe it or not, Opel. I don't know if that's good or bad, but there can't be a lot of it out there, but I don't think there's an excessively high demand for it. So new old stock Opel parts, a little bit of GM, miscellaneous GM, but primarily Opel, and the 71 Cutlass two-door hardtop. What's coming up for new videos this week? I've got some super cool new inventory showing that I've got to get up. I shot the 41 Chevy truck today. I want to get that one up. I shot the 7098 convertible. I want to get that up. I got a lot more cool stuff from ACD. We've got to get that Cord Speedster up because you guys have got to check that thing out. So that may be what we do this week, the Chevy, the Olds, and the Cord Speedster. But we've still got the archives from ACD. We've got the other Cord video we did at Auburn Cord Duesenberg. Got a video on a gorgeous, absolutely stunning Auburn Boattail Speedster. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up there. Still got stuff from the other salvage yard I was out on the road last time. So lots of cool stuff coming up, but that's probably what we're going to probably focus on. We'll probably get the 41 Chevy truck up because that's such a cool piece, the 98 convertible and the Cord Speedster. The plane, like I said, I got the wings, but Doug Ray, my buddy, he's got a big Peterbilt rollback that we think we can get a fuselage on, and he was in Glendale with that Judge convertible this weekend. So once he gets back and gets regrouped, then hopefully we'll get back on it. Shipping information for Kenny, I do not know. Let me see. I don't remember. Did you PayPal me, Kenny? Or did you send me a check? I can't remember all the time. Yep, I've got it here. You put it on you when you bought. Kenny must have known when he bought his raffle entries. He actually was not paying for any auction items, but when he bought his raffle tickets, he just put his address right on there. So Kenny must have known. I think it's 22 or 24 foot deck because the fuselage is 32 foot and we're going to have an 8 or 10 foot hangover, I think. I think he said it's 22 or 24. So hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll get that plane out there. Anyway, that being said, that pretty much wraps it up. That's pretty much what I've got tonight. We'll give you a few more badges as we get ready to wind things down here. I'll keep an eye on comments for another minute or so here as we get wound down. As always, I appreciate you guys swinging by, spending your entire Sunday evening with me and the group of nobodies that has become the Sunday Night Live Chat. It's an awesome group here. Your participation in the auctions, your participation in the raffles, and your participation in comments, sharing your knowledge, is all that stuff really is what makes this thing what it is. Randy's here really late tonight. Just got service coming out of Georgia. So glad you got on for just the end of it, Randy. So, but glad you stopped by to say hi, if nothing else. So anyway, that's what I've got going. This week, I'm going to start working. Like I said, Chris and I are going to start working on F&E. We'll start bringing you some more information about F&E. And number one is having a very terse conversation with some automated robot at PayPal. Good luck with that. I know how that usually goes. Nowhere. On a good day, it goes nowhere. On a bad day, you end up wanting to break something when you get into those situations. Dennis, do I have your address? Which one was that on, Dennis? Trying to remember. That was something from last week, wasn't it? Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was on that promo. You said you had emailed it to me. So I went in and looked after the fact because I don't hit email that often, a couple times a week. So, but yes, I did get it sent, Dennis. Thanks. X-Ray Sunday Night Live with the Nobodies is the best. Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Michael, thanks for another fun night. Have a good week, everybody. Definitely, absolutely. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Keep an eye on comments for just a few more seconds here in case anybody needs to slide anything else in there. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll get ready to wind this thing up. Like I said, we'll get the Chevy truck video, the 98 convertible, and probably the Cord Speedster this week. Toy Tuesday, we will get some more cool toys out and check those out. I've still got some stuff from the last Missouri run. We ain't even got to the Big Kahuna yet. Remember the Big Kahuna? We're talking about the Big Kahuna toy. I got a Big Kahuna toy. We ain't got to it yet. So April is going to be an epic raffle month. Since we hadn't done toys, thought we'd do them up really, really right. We got an awesome batch of Structos this week. Great number 158. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks. There again, the Johnny Carson comments. That's still kind of crazy. Blows my mind, but I'm glad you guys think I put together a quality enough product to even consider that. But I do what I can, even though I fumble my way through. Now the Cutlass isn't nowhere near complete. No motor, no tranny. So definitely not complete. A lot of good stuff there. It is a good parts car, but nowhere near complete. X-ray banned from PayPal for about 15 years. 305 TPI or HO parts. Got a few F bodies that are V8 in that era, but I don't even know what I've got. Randy had to get a container out of Port of Atlanta. Chad will share when we get home. Sounds interesting. Because you're in Ohio and you had to go to Atlanta to get a container. Sounds promising. Sounds interesting. Kenny says it is quality. Well, thanks, Kenny. I appreciate that. I do. Like I said, when I work these up on Friday and Saturday nights, I try to work through and think about what you guys would enjoy. So tell your friends that we're on. Invite them over to join us. Let's get a few more people on here to hang out with us and get a little more knowledge in the group chat and add to what we're working on here. So, and some of you guys did want new stickers. That's fine. If you want a couple bucks a piece, that's what they cost. So we can get some of those out to you. Plus, still got these and shirts as well. So, anyway, yeah, number one sounds like the plot of Cocaine Bear. Whatever this container is, Randy's running back with. So, anyway, that being said, let's wrap it up. I hope everybody has a great week. We will see you live Tuesday night with some Toy Tuesday. We'll be bringing some more super cool cars to check out this week on the regular episodes. Big congratulations to our raffle winners for the month. And let's get geared up for the Structo truck raffle. 3 trucks going out of here in a month. Thanks for your participation. Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for supporting what we do here, both with your time, your knowledge, financially through the auctions and the raffles, but mainly through you being here and sharing your knowledge and participating in what has become the amazing group of nobodies that make up the Sunday Night Live Chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to sign off, and we will see you Tuesday night for some Toy Tuesday, and definitely hope to see you right back here next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat station, 7 o'clock Central Time for another episode number 159 of Sunday Night Live Chat. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday night.